it around.
Yeah, they have, and they've really cleaned up the way they're playing football games, cleaned up the penalties, cleaned over mistakes and turnovers, and the last 3 games have really shown what they're capable of.
Luca Lombardo with the kickoff, the return by Cameron Ross, and he puts the ball on the carpet, picks it back up, and he's brought down at about the 10-yard line. They'll mark him at the 12. Boy, an inauspicious beginning for UConn.
Whew.
Coach Moore and company wiping the sweat off their brow. I'm sure they've got plenty of it in this weather. This didn't help.
No, not at all. Cam Ross is going to be holding the ball a lot in this game. He's top receiver for the Huskies, and hopefully he got a good feel for the ball now. Got it back.
Taquan Roberson. Got a dual threat quarterback. UConn does themselves in number 1 in white. Gonna throw on first down. Out in the flat. There's his receiver. You talked about Ross making the catch right at the yard marker to gain for the first down, making up for that fumble on the opening kick. What do you make of Roberson?
I mean, he's a interesting guy, right? Went to Penn State, highly recruited out of high school, and then decides to transfer into UConn, and he really felt like he and Nick Charlton, the offensive coordinator, bonded. I mean, right when he went in that portal, Charlton reached out to him, and really since that point, their relationship has grown. He's in the office all the time watching film with Charlton, and those two feel like they're getting to know each other really well.
Hand off to Cam Edwards. Takes a couple of hits and stays on his feet. Picks up about 6 yards. Edwards is an interesting story. So Victor Rosa, the starting tailback for UConn, has been banged up, only had a couple of carries last week. So what happens? Edwards comes in, rushes for a career-high 149 yards on 22 carries in their game last week against South Florida.
Yeah, career high by a lot, right? And it's funny, you watch the game, not as familiar with UConn. You start to watch the season, and you're like, wait a second, where's this number 0, right? Where has he been all year? And you're talking to Charlton and Moore. They said, look, he's done it in practice. We just didn't know if he could do it in a game. He proved that last week.
3rd down and 4. Edwards cuts it back inside, lowers his shoulder. Gonna be stopped just shy of the marker to gain, and that'll bring up 4th down. Got an injured Boston College player down on the field on the far side. Going to get a number there. That's Sheeta Salah. We'll take a quick break and come back and check in on Salah. Scoreless here early in Chestnut Hill.
We have a special guest today on ESPN College Game Day, the Geico Gecko.
Look, just get to the part when you tell everyone how easy it is to ensure what's important to them. Home, car, even RV. Come on, there's an RV right there. Did he even see the talking points I gave him?
I don't believe so, sir.
For all your insurance needs from home to car to RV, it's easy to Geico.
Desmond?
I forgot the talking points.
That's my ride or die.
Just like you and me. Bag boys. Bag boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when we bring your food?
You can always bet on Biggie, and now earn free food when ordering on the Wendy's app. At IHOP, we're flipping up more than pancakes with our new menu featuring waffles, biscuits, burgers, Benedicts, and more. There's always a way to put a smile on your plate. Only at IHOP. Download the app and earn free food with every order.
I can feel it. Hey, it's Kane Brown. Check out my song I Can Feel It on YouTube and YouTube Shorts.
You looking at me, them words you're whispering in my ear, girl, they're as smooth as Tennessee. We got all night to go.
There's Sheeta Salah walking off under his own power. That's a good sign. Looks like he's holding his right wrist or maybe shoulder. Here's how he got injured, Mark. Number 11.
Yeah, it looks like that elbow might have gotten banged out of place, or his shoulder as he was flopping over that pile. We'll keep an eye on that.
BC defense forcing this Caratan punt. Jaden Williams from his 34. Takes one man miss, still on his feet, but doesn't make much out of it. Picks up a couple of yards. 44 yards on the kick. They'll give him 3 on the return. Our first opportunity today to see Tommy Castellanos.
Well, last week we called him the human highlight reel, and he did not disappoint. You know, came here, we mentioned transfer from UCF. A lot of teams in the portal, and not just a lot like Oregon, Florida State. They wanted him to come to their team to play running back. And you know, he had the desire to play QB. Coach Hafley wanted to give him that opportunity, and saw the field for the first time in the first game of the year when Thomas Moorhead sat down for a few plays, and he hasn't relinquished the spot since.
Robichaux bangs his way into the middle of that line, takes a hit late. No flag though, give him 5 yards.
And you're going to see a lot of this 1-2 punch between number 5 Kai Robichaux and Tommy Castellanos, number 1. The ground game last week versus Georgia Tech, it was, let's give it to 5, let's give it to 1, let's give it to 5, and let's go deep on some play action. And I think they really feel like that's their best chance of winning a lot of these games. They run behind this big offensive line and have the run set up the big play action shots. One
of those offensive linemen, Christian Mahogany, ACC Offensive Lineman of the Week. Screen pass, batted up in the air. Castellanos catches it. Can't throw it again. He's got to run it. Probably would have been better off just knocking that ball down, as he's going to lose about 10 yards. Eric Watts was the one who got a hand on it. So Castellanos runs it. He passes it. Now he catches it.
Well, that was not planned, but a good job, right? Good job by Eric Watts. His tight end slips off him, going to go out for that tight end screen, and he just kind of throttles down and gets those big paws up. And now on 3rd down and long, right? Tommy Castellanos, when he gets outside of the pocket, he can really let the ball loose. And we've seen him flick some downfield. Look for number 11, Lewis Bond. He's been his favorite target in these situations.
Castellanos will run it. Close to the yard marker, gets it about beyond the 45. He's going to be just shy. Durante Jones was the one to make the stop. 13 yards on the carry, and it's going to be
a go-for-it situation for Hafley. He's
even on his side of the field. They're this early in the game.
On this field, they're number 1 in the ACC in 4th down conversions, converting at 73%. And he really feels like in this situation, I'm going to keep the ball in Tommy Castellanos' hands, get behind our big offensive lineman to bring an extra O lineman in for this one. Castellanos broke one of these for a touchdown last week.
He's going to keep it, try to get to the outside. He does, and he picks up enough yardage to move the sticks. Malcolm Bell, the cornerback on that side, forced him out, but he has just too much speed to get to the edge.
Well, this is why, right? You keep the ball in his hands, he's got options, right? If he does give the ball off, great, but when you have this type of talent in the backfield, he's going to pull it more times than not and uses that quickness to get to the edge.
Think about him last week, Mark. He really didn't have a whole lot of design runs in the first 3 quarters of that game in Atlanta. And in the 4th quarter is when he and Robichaux really put things together, and they dominated Georgia Tech, outscored them 21-0 in the 4th quarter. Here's Robichaux, stretching it to the right side. Give him about 9 more, maybe 10. He's right up on the yard marker. Tui Famina Brown on the tackle.
Yeah, and this is what it is, right? It's such a good job. Watch Robichaux just wait for his offensive lineman and cut it upfield. And just a really good, you see the kick out blocks by Mahogany and then 66 getting up through. And that's just a good job of following your blockers and staying on track. And that's something that Boston College could not do last year with their experience at O-line. This year, that's the bread and butter.
Robichaux right up the middle, tackled high. He's able to drag a defender for about 5 yards. That was Eric Watts, defensive end. That shows you Robichaux's strength right there.
Yeah, he's strong. And I think that what Hafley talked about, he said, look, we knew that he was going to be a good player transferring in from Western Kentucky. However, he was still down like 4th on the depth chart. And what he has learned is how to run with behind his pads, to run lower. And anytime you're running high as a running back, you can't drag defensive linemen like that, right? Getting your pads down, getting lower has really helped with his yards after contact.
Castellanos to pass. He has all kinds of time. The ball slips out of his hands. And he's able to fall on it, or was he? UConn thinks they have the ball. The officials will get together, and they got it. UConn picks up the fumble. Bryce Yates was able to fall on it. And this is a case mark for sure where it's a hot day. Castellanos' hands a little bit sweaty. That ball just slipped out.
Yeah, and, you know, we saw it kind of slips very similarly in the Army game earlier in the year. Now, that game was raining, right? You know, tons of rain in that game. The ball was wet and slick. But anytime you get a smaller stature quarterback, right, there's always a concern about hand size and grip strength. He's been good for the most part, but, you know, this is one where the ball just slips right out, and really good job by UConn jumping on top of it.
Castellanos, you see wiping the sweat off his hands with the towel on the sideline. First turnover of the game goes BC's way. Let's see if Roberson can take advantage. Now we get whistles. And Boston College defensively wants to call a timeout.
There is no timeout charged to Boston College. The previous play is under further review.
Thank you for the clarification. Jeff Flanagan, our referee today, and the ACC crew will take a quick timeout. We'll come back after they take a look at this on replay.
For everyone who's endured the bad seat, finally, sweet, sweet redemption. The Lexus TX. 3-row luxury that treats every seat like the best seat.
Free radicals are everywhere. Protect yourself against them with Palm.
With Litter Robot, your days of scooping are over.
Every day is a new opportunity. Seize the moment. Set the table that brings you together. Wear the red that brightens the room. And give the ring that changes everything. JCPenney. Make it count.
Sports fans, imagine having an epic 120-inch mega screen. That's the ultra short throw laser projector right there. It's not mounted in the ceiling. It's just inches from the screen. And it's twice as big as an 85-inch. This thing is epic. Total immersion, people. Bring the stadium experience home. The epic way to watch sports. Epson Epic Vision Ultra. The epic entertainment experience.
Tommy Castellanos' fumble on the previous play was reviewed. Let's take one more look at it. The question is whether Castellanos was able to fall on it and gain possession before Bryce Yates did.
Yeah, doesn't have possession there, and you know, Yates looks like he's got it in that grasp. You know, good review, but good call on the field by these officials.
Call stands. There's not enough to overturn that. You couldn't see underneath that pile whether Castellanos had any possession or not before Yates emerged with the ball, so it's a turnover.
And turnover margin is going to be big in this game, right? You get a team like UConn, 1-6, trying to fight for something. They can get points off this turnover early in the first quarter. That's going to be huge for their momentum.
Roberson, the give to Edwards. Powers his way for about 3 yards. Edwards is one of those players, 0 and white. When you go on the field before the game, he stands out.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, look at that guy. Who's that guy? Oh, that's Cam Edwards.
Yeah, I mean, he does. He stands out. He's big. He's strong looking. You know when guys just move like a running back? It's like, hey, he's going through those ladder drills, moving that way, and he's tough. I mean, I don't know if you at the home can hear the clicking of these pads going on, but every time he's running the football, I mean, it's like clack, 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 clack. He's getting hit.
Going to take a breather here. They'll empty the backfield for Roberson on 2nd down and 7. Jolie in motion, the hybrid tight end wide receiver to the bottom of your screen. Roberson looking underneath, misfires, tried to hit Ross, just threw it behind him. Vinny DePalma in coverage. Third down here, middle of the field. You think BC brings a little pressure?
I think they do. I think with, again, Roberson, he's a young quarterback too. And, he came onto this team really because Joe Fagnano was hurt in the second game of the year. He wasn't the week 1 starter, and he's still learning. So anytime you get one of those young quarterbacks, I know Hafley likes to bring pressure. Look for it coming off the top side.
They bring it. It is coming off the top. Picked up nicely enough for Roberson. Hit his receiver, who avoids a tackle. Going to pick up a first down. Stepping out of bounds at the 34. That's Jordan Porter.
Wow.
Elijah Jones finally forced them out, but Porter picks up the first down.
How about Taquan Roberson? Standing in the pocket, delivering on this crossing route, putting it out in front of his wide receiver so he can continue running. Right? If that's on the back shoulder at all, that's going to be a tackle for no first down. Really good pass.
Fresh set of downs for the BC 34. Give to Edwards, straight up the middle, has a lot of room. Bouncing off a tackler and stretching another one. Picks up 8 yards before Shione Hala makes the tackle.
Can you tell that Jim Mora coached football in the 90s? Quarterback under center, fullback in the backfield. Let's run a little power O. And good pickup on first down.
Work a little clock, too. Clock ticking down midway through this first quarter already. Second drive for UConn. This one started right near midfield after a turnover. Now 2nd down and 2. Might change what's working so well for you, though. Although Edwards, before he even got to the line of scrimmage, stumbled on his own feet. Vinny DePalma moving the pile a little bit into the backfield. Might have had something to do with Edwards losing his footing.
Yeah, when Vinny DePalma goes downhill, he usually moves a pile. He is a load. Not really overly big, right? But he hits hard, right? He has so much explosive power. But this being his 6th year at BC, he's been a leader of this defense. And good job by Roberson on the last 3rd down, connecting for the first. I see a 2-way go for him. It could be a QB draw.
Roberson's going to throw over the middle, tight window, and he gets it in there. Found Brett Buckman, who was double covered over the middle, and Buckman is their underneath possession receiver, and he catches his 30th catch of the year.
Yeah, great job. Cam Horsley, watch 96, the defensive tackle. He's just going to drop out in the low hook coverage, and he gets so close to getting a mid on this ball. But look at that concentration by Buckman. Contested catch, pulling it in, and getting enough with another first down.
Buckman transferred in after 4 successful years at Delaware, making the most of his FBS opportunity here at UConn. Cam Edwards in the backfield once again. Huskies in the red zone. Roberson the pitch. Edwards looking for blockers in front. Has him inside the 10. Still on his feet down to the 3. DePalma makes the tackle, but Roberson has UConn set up 1st and goal.
And, getting back to that under center look. Got that weak eye formation, little pitch out. Watch 51. Watch their center. That dude's moving. And moving people.
Pancake out of bounds, too.
Drive off the screen. Yakari Walker, right? Undersized 6'2", 267 out of DeSoto, Texas, but
maybe that's why he can move so well.
I mean, you saw the speed.
Yeah.
I mean, he was running.
Made the most of that block out on the corner. First and goal from the 2. Edwards stretches for the goal line. They'll mark him down inside the 1.
Man, you think that kid doesn't love football? Well, every time he runs it, it's just, it's fantastic.
Interestingly enough, talking to Coach Moore, he said, look, he went from having fun playing football to taking it seriously this year.
Yeah. And you're right, both these teams so similar. Another guy who was 4th on the depth chart due to injuries and transfers, he's got a shot.
Jelani Stafford, the defensive lineman, in at the running back spot. He'll get the carry, powers his way to the goal line. No signal yet. No signal yet. Trying to unpile the pile, and 97 isn't hard to find, and he's in. His 6th rushing touchdown of the year for the D lineman.
Touchdown.
Well, how about that? I mean, it is every defensive player's fantasy to score a touchdown, to get the ball, hand it off. You know, when I played for the New York Giants, there was times where I was in that, like, goal line tight end position. Never got the ball thrown to me, right? But, like, you're always hoping for that moment. Well, Jelani Stafford, it's funny when you talk to the coaches about their running back room, they mentioned him. They're like, you know, he can't really do all the plays, but he was in that conversation.
Had a game earlier this year where he recovered a fumble on the opposing team's 2-yard line and stayed in the game, and on the very next play ran it in.
Yep.
No Way Rulis with the PAT. Very unfortunate name for a kicker. But he makes it anyway. 7-0. Stafford's fired up. UConn is fired up. They're 1-6 on the year. It's almost been what could go wrong has gone wrong for the Huskies, but not so far in this game. Stafford puts them up 7-0 early in Chestnut Hill.
We have a special guest today on ESPN College Game Day, the Geico Gecko.
Look, just get to the part when you tell everyone how easy it is to ensure what's important to them. Home, car, even RV. Come on, there's an RV right there. Did he even see the talking points I gave him?
I don't believe so, sir.
For all your insurance needs from home to car to RV, it's easy to Geico.
Desmond?
I forgot the talking points.
Lunch? Yes, please.
That'll be $23.
Your ad says it's free.
Yeah, it is for our Economy Ultimate passengers who paid extra.
I'll just have water.
Okay, sure. Cash or card?
For water? Well, at AT&T, when we offer you our best iPhone deals, we guarantee it. Even on the new iPhone 15 Pro, made with titanium. Not that you don't keep your word, it's just that you haven't.
What? Only AT&T gives everyone our best deals on any iPhone with any popular plan. Guaranteed. Get iPhone 15 Pro on us.
Now there's only one direction for us to go. The back streets.
Trolls band together. Rated PG. Sneak previews November 4th. In theaters everywhere November 17th. Get tickets now.
It's bow time.
It's not just football season. It's tailgate season.
And this season includes every kind of football.
Tailgate like a legend with bold hand-breaded chicken and fluffy buttermilk biscuits. Order your tailgate box in the Bojangles app. It's bow time.
Hello?
To know hockey is to love hockey. The NHL on ESPN and ESPN+.
Mr. Jenkins told me to unclog your drain for just $77.
Mr. Jenkins told me a slow drain is a clogged drain. Let us open it up before it gets worse.
We'll get there lightning fast, and it's only $77.
Pretty good success rate there for Jelani Stafford. 12 carries, half of them have gone for touchdowns on the season. 6 touchdowns on the ground. He just wrapped up a 9-play, 51-yard drive. Took over 5 minutes off the clock. Turnovers and points off turnovers, Mark.
Yep.
And now BC has a touchdown off the first and only turnover of the game so far. Or UConn rather has that touchdown off the BC turnover. Rulis with the kick. Bond Lewis Bond will take a knee. Touchback. Sherry Burris on the field. What do you got for us, Sherry?
Boston College head coach Jeff Hafley told us he wants to eliminate the oh no's or the oh yes, especially with such a resilient group like his. He said the reminder is if the first drive doesn't go well, or for example, a turnover that leads to a touchdown, eventually you got to keep going. You can't ride the momentum. So to keep doing this, his message is for his guys to be the spark and inspire someone else to make that play, guys. They don't want to have to just wait for someone else to do it.
Well, I definitely get a lot of oh no, oh no, oh no, oh yes plays when you're talking about Tommy Castellanos.
But they've also come back, right? They've also shown that they can come back. You know, Florida State game earlier in the year, down 21, came back, came within really a missed extra point of tying that one up. They have it in them, but now's the drive who has to start.
After the fumble, Castellanos, design draw, has blockers in front of him. A lot of room to run, runs into the back of his own player, but he's able to scoot beyond him and pick up the first down. Ronte Jones tackles him 17 yards downfield. You talk about comebacks as we look at this run. I mean, Virginia, they were down 21-7, and the season really hung in the balance in that game. Came back to win that one. Down in the fourth quarter to Army. Down in the fourth quarter at Georgia Tech last week, and they won all 3 of those games.
Yep, they did, and it just goes to the resilience that Jeff Hafley talked about, right? He talked about it all year, all offseason, and we've seen it show up time and time again watching this team.
Robichaux on the pitch. Good job by the defender. That looks like Noah Plack came in from his linebacker spot to fill the hole. Tripped up Robichaux after a gain of a couple. On the back end of that, Mark, they've had some slow starts and have really dug themselves a few holes they've had to climb out of.
Yeah, they have, and really before last week against Georgia Tech, most games started slow, right? They came out relatively hot, 14 points on the board in the first quarter last week, but you saw that plus 48 in the fourth quarter. That's when it really counts.
Bond on the receiving end here from Castellanos, takes it inside of UConn territory, tackled at the 40 by Malik Dixon-Williams. Looks like Castellanos has put that fumble in the rearview mirror. Sharp on this drive.
And that's something we got to keep our eye on. Lewis Bond hopping off the field. He's the top receiver for Boston College. Ever since Ryan O'Keefe went down with a neck injury earlier in the year, it's been Lewis Bond who's stepped up, and he's countless times made big catches for this offense. We'll have to keep an eye on his status, and you'll see a lot more of Dino Tomlin, number 13, with him out.
Here's Tomlin in motion. Castellanos to throw on play action. Wants to go downfield. Instead, checks underneath. This tight end, Jeremiah Franklin, doesn't have 7-foot-long arms, so he wasn't able to corral that one. He's a good athlete, though.
He does, but
you and I keep waiting for him to have a huge game. Like one of these days, 17 is going to have 8 catches for 112 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Right, and it might be today, right? George Takis, the starter, is out this game. He's injured, and so it's going to be a lot more Jeremiah Franklin, number 17. He had a couple big catches last week. That one is just the throw has to be on target.
Alex Broom on the carry. Oof. Yeah, there are some big hits going on out there, Mark.
That's what Northeast football is supposed to be about. Boston College, UConn.
Durante Jones, Jackson Mitchell.
And
pads popping.
Yeah. That's what Jim Mora wants, right? Yeah, look, we know we're rebuilding. We know we're 1-6, but I want you to turn on the tape and be like, man, those guys are playing hard. And we're noticing it right now.
3rd and 8. Castellanos to Tomlin. Can he make a defender miss? He does. Does he get to the first down? I think he's going to be just a little bit shy. Malcolm Bell makes the tackle, or at least forces Tomlin out of bounds.
Yeah, and in this type of offense, Steve Shimko, the OC, he's going to go for it on 4th and 1. You're in this tweener range. You're converting at such a high rate that you know, Dino Tomlin does a great job of making a couple extra yards, but he doesn't have to get the first down there because they bring out their big boys.
Robichaux in motion. Castellanos is going to run it himself. Picks up the first down. It looks like he might have had a bigger play if he'd have cut it inside, but he moves the sticks anyways.
Yeah, good job of knowing exactly what you have to get, right? You know, I'm sure before the play he said, okay, I know the 30-yard line. If I get it past there, I'm good. And, you know, part of Castellanos has to do as well is he has to run smart. You know, he does get a lot of carries. He has a lot of yards, but he can't get injured because all that goes away if he does. Good job getting down.
Give to Robichaux. Big hole up the middle, still on his feet inside the 20 down to the 15. 13 yards for Robichaux.
And here we go. Watch Jeremiah Franklin come out with a great kick-out block, and then it just opens up a crease for Robichaux. Oh, they're going fast.
Down to the 5 goes Jaden Williams. Let's see if they want to continue at this pace. They do. Castellanos is already ready to go. Williams has got to get to the far side of the field in the slot. Give to Robichaux. Powers his way into the end zone.
Well, how about that execution? After a first drive that looked very wearisome out of BC, the tip pass, the fumble, but they just got right back to doing what they do. Castellanos on the big run. You had Dino Tomlin on the sideline, and then 4th and 1 conversion going fast, getting in the end zone.
Robichaux's 5th rushing touchdown of the year. Candotti with the PAT. Check that, Liam Connor with the PAT. Wrapping up a 10-play, 75-yard drive. Took 4 minutes and 17 seconds off the clock for BC, and the Robichaux continues.
Lowering his pads, getting behind them, running to where if he does get hit, he's not getting knocked back.
Big bear hug from Christian Mahogany.
A couple of impressive drives from both teams. And you know, this is hard-nosed Northeast football at its finest. 10 plays, 75 yards. And there it was, number 1, number 5 making their names. Like the eye black, too.
Yeah, you were an aficionado of eye black back in the day.
Yeah.
Really, with you was more of just paint your whole face.
It was. You know,
I mean, you had very little skin that did not have eye black on it. It was like face black.
Right. I just left out any of the parts of my body that were involved with breathing, my nose and my mouth. But the rest of the face, you're right.
Liam Connor in the kickoff for BC. Sends this one high and short. Cameron Ross from his own 3. Allowing his blockers to develop. Gets it out to the 27. College football continues through the night here on the ACC Network. Up next, Virginia at Miami from Hard Rock Stadium. Then at 8 o'clock Eastern, our primetime game, North Carolina at Georgia Tech. Tech has won or lost every other game this year. They lost last week to BC, so I guess if that holds, they'll get the upset over North Carolina tonight in Atlanta. Both games available on the ESPN app. And Tech's actually played North Carolina and Mac Brown very well over the years. Well, always seem to give him a scare or they get a dub against him.
Yeah, well, you know, and I'll tell you who's not scared of a ranking, Brent Pry, right? Like, he's a guy who just said, look, I don't care what numbers in front of the guy. We're going to knock them off. He's beaten, what, 3 ranked teams.
That's a team kind of like Boston College right now. It's really starting to heat up here in the middle of the season for a stretch run at the end. Edwards with another physically punishing run. De Palma met him at the end of it. Hertzlich household.
Oh, it sure is. We are being pirates. My son, Boston, will be Jack Sparrow, and I will be generic pirate dad.
One of the more dangerous pirates you'll run across. No question about it.
Yes.
Edwards, who's been dominant on the ground for UConn, responsible for 43 of the 67 yards so far. Total offense for the Huskies. Only able to pick up a couple there, and it's 3rd down and 4.
They've been good on 3rd down. And a good mix of crossing routes, trying to beat Boston College's man coverage. Boston College plays more man coverage than almost anyone in the ACC, and really top 10 in college football. So you're anticipating some sort of man. Crossing routes are effective against that.
Roberson to throw. Quick slant route, hits a receiver right at the yard marker. Mark Jackson was defending on the play, but it looked like Ross may have got enough to move the chains.
Yeah, what nice timing, right? You get the snap, perfect snap, comes right to the hands, you turn and you just zip it out there. I mean, this has to be done now. To now pass into that little slant, and a good job. You see Hala coming from the inside out. If that's anywhere in front or high, that's a blow-up shot for your wide receiver. Good throw.
UConn now 4 of 5 on third down as they convert. Edwards nowhere to go. Swallowed up on the play by Donovan Ezeraku. Cam Horsley helped blow it up from his tackle spot. There's Ezeraku.
Yeah, and good job by Cam Horsley. Watch him right here. Watch the penetration that he gets. Yeah, we talked about the size difference of the offensive lineman Walker, and Cam Horsley just drives him backwards and really blows up that play.
So now for one of the few times already in this game, Mark, UConn's behind the sticks. Haven't seen this very often. 2nd and 15.
Look how wide this running back is. Look for him to get out in the pass game.
Yep, that was a receiver, Ross. Pressure on the edge. And Roberson was just able to get rid of it. Neto Akpala.
Right on the field, it's an incomplete pass.
That was scary.
You got big number 4 coming off the edge. Watch Neto off the left side. And, you know, that's what happens when you line up in this kind of 10 personnel with no running backs on the field. You have your wide receiver motion out. That's a clear shot. Hey, I'm coming off the edge.
Akpala did well not to blow him up and maybe get a flag on that play, too.
He did. And BC, normal pressure happy. They're going to drop back here, try to make Roberson beat him with his arm.
Yeah, showing just 3 coming. Maybe Hala. Or 7 from that linebacker spot. No, he drops in coverage. Still get pressure on him, though. Roberson. He's going to have to do it on his own. Now he throws downfield, and the receiver can't come up with it. Look like Kevin Clarius on the pattern. Roberson did a nice job of making it look like he was going to do it with his legs and then at least trying to get it out to the receiver.
Well, it's Neto Akpala again getting pressure. And just a loss of containment right here. Now you're a cornerback. What do I do? Elijah Jones bites up, and you see the rotating safety. But that was a good opportunity and really good timing of the throw by Roberson. If that's caught, it's the first down.
George Caratan, one of the better punters in the country. And then in this game, 25th in the country in average per kick. Over 45 yards. Lets this one fly. You can see why. Drives it. Williams all the way back to his 15. He'll have an opportunity, though, on the return. 30. It's brought down at the 34, but good starting field position for the Eagles. 54 yards on the kick, but he outkicked his coverage as Williams was able to return it for 18.
We have a special guest today on ESPN College Game Day, the Geico Gecko.
Look, just get to the part when you tell everyone how easy it is to insure what's important to them. Home, car, even RV. Come on, there's an RV right there. Did he even see the talking points I gave him?
I don't believe so, sir.
For all your insurance needs from home to car to RV, it's easy to Geico.
Desmond?
I forgot the talking points.
You're the guy from Brozone. Grant, how come you never told me?
That's all in the past.
Check out your old outfits. Denim tuxedo? Did you have frosted tips?
It was an era.
It's time we get the band back together.
Now let's roll.
I can't believe this is really happening. Looks like your band days aren't behind you.
Trolls band together. Rated PG. Sneak previews November 4th. In theaters everywhere November 17th.
Lunch?
Yes, please.
That'll be $23.
Your ad says it's free.
Yeah, it is for our economy ultimate passengers who paid extra.
I'll just have water.
Okay, sure. Cash or card?
For water? Well, at AT&T, when we offer you our best iPhone deals, we guarantee it. Even on the new iPhone 15 Pro, made with titanium. Not that you don't keep your word, it's just that you haven't.
What?
Only AT&T gives everyone our best deals on any iPhone with any popular plan. Guaranteed. Get iPhone 15 Pro on us.
Once you pick up an Arby's cheesesteak, it's gonna be tough to set that thing back down. Hey, put it back. The commercial is not over. Arby's, we have the meats.
Hello?
Love how you're using your, hate how you're using your quarterback, but I did
Yeah, the biggest thing for us was the change, because it was such a drastic style. When you talk to Chud and those guys, it's like you got to adapt fast, but then you don't have time.
Well, you've done it. I mean, I know the first couple weeks you're kind of bouncing back.
Coach Moore and Coach Hafley before the game talking about how Hafley's been able to use Castellanos and has improved every single week, continuing to run the football. BC. Mullet with the tackle, but not before the Eagles pick up about 6 yards on first down. That was Broom on the carry.
Yeah, and you know, kind of what Hafley was talking about tomorrow. Hey, look, it's a completely different offense with Emmett Moorhead at quarterback versus Thomas Castellanos is at quarterback. And Castellanos not being here for summer or spring, they really didn't know exactly what he could do. And really during the bye week before the Georgia Tech game, they honed in on what he does best. And you know, he showed out for Georgia Tech with 383 yards of total offense. So I think they figured out what he does best. Now they just need to put it in execution. And, you know, so far there have been some miscues. I mean, Boston College throughout this season has been riddled with drops. I mean, they're the fifth worst in all of the FBS in terms of drop percentage. And, you know, that comes from wide receivers, from tight ends, from running backs there, and sets up for, you know, a third down and long. Longer, I should say.
Yeah, Eagles were 0 for 2 on third down today. Try and pick this one up on the ground. Robichaux gets it.
They're going fast. Big runs. Getting back on the line of scrimmage, going fast.
Robichaux lowers that, those pads. Picks up another 6 yards. Just chunks for Robichaux right now.
Yeah, and he, you know, again, it's not just him. This offensive line has done such a good job of getting him open creases, and he's able to really get a lot of yards before he's even hit, and that's a big change from last year for this BC team.
Castellanos will look to keep it himself. Only picks up maybe a yard at best. Eric Watts brought him down right about the line of scrimmage, so it'll bring up another third down.
Really good job by Watts, and good job by Maurice Wilmer of just containing Castellanos, and that's what you have to do against this type of quarterback. Just contain him. Keep him in the pocket.
Lewis Bond, number 11 in red, back in the game for BC. That's a good sign. Castellanos maybe looking his way. He is. No flag on the play. Now we get one. Chris Sheeran, the safety in coverage on Bond. Castellanos was looking his way the entire time. The defender just climbed over his back. That'll be a defensive PI.
Pass interference. Defense number 7. The penalty is an automatic first down at the spot of the foul.
Yeah, they checked to this. They saw man-to-man across the board, a little rub route. It was actually a really good job by the defender, Chris Sheeran. Just got that back right arm on the body of Lewis Bond. Good to see Lewis Bond back after we saw him gimping off the field earlier.
Umpire comes in, wants to make sure he has the ball marked where it should be. Now our referee, because of that, Jeff Flanagan, wants play clock to be reset. It is. I don't think BC's going to need all those seconds. Franklin, the tight end, in motion. Broom, low center of gravity. Picks up about 15, 13 to be exact.
I mean, you think you're done with dealing with the physical runner when Robichaux's out, but no. I mean, first of all, great hole up front, but then you get Alex Broom, only 5'6", 192 pounds, a true sophomore out of Nashville. I mean, he runs low and hard, and it's hard to find him. And once you do, he's going to hit you right in the chin.
Bowling ball. Another first down for the Eagles. Franklin again in motion. This time they'll pitch it to Broom. He's got a lot of run room. Inside the 25, down to the 22. Armani Archie on the stop, but it's another big gain on first down.
Hey, big game run. Let's go back to the ball quick. You know, they're trying to tire out this UConn defensive line.
Castellanos is just handing the ball off. Broom gets knocked down, but that'll pick up a first down. Archie again on the stop. Broom knows if he just could have kept his footing, he'd have scored easily.
Yeah, you see how explosive he is? He got hit off his feet and still went forward like 3 or 4 yards. Watch this. Good job cutting back. Good tackle. He's able to bounce forward.
Well, Castellanos right now, the most successful play he's being a part of is handoff left and handoff right.
Yeah, there's times, right, where it's not clicking at all times for you as a quarterback. And to be able to hand the ball off and run the ball at 6 yards a clip.
Now he's throwing. Pocket collapsing, steps up. He's going to run it. He has room up the middle. Now bounces it outside. Put that ball away. Flags all over the place. As Castellanos' helmet is ripped off on the play, and you can see Hafley having a word with him as he comes back onto the field. This will add about half the distance to the goal, I'm sure.
Well, drop backs to pass, or does he? I mean,
personal foul, face mask, defense, number 11.
Look at this ball here, though, Mark. Look that thing.
Automatic first down, and number 1 may remain in the game.
And there's 2 things that Jeff Hafley could have been running over and saying is, let's put the ball away and don't get a personal foul after the play, right? Get a little nice face time, get those locks flowing, your helmet gets off. It's always a good time, right? You get to show what your face is, but just don't say anything to get a flag.
He remains.
Is that a huddle? Man, I miss huddles in college football.
2 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Griffin in motion. Now false start. And BC will give those yards right back.
False start. Offense, number 60. It's a 5-yard penalty. First down.
Kyle Hergel, one of the Habs on the left side, the Canadians. Transferred in from Texas State. Really solidifying this offensive line, Mark, when you think about how banged up they were last year. You get Mahogany back.
Yeah.
You have Kendall and Trapillo, the veterans, on the right side.
Yeah.
Now you throw in 2 transfers, Taylor and Hergel on the left.
Yeah, that left side of the line, with Hergel, and you mentioned Taylor transferring in from Virginia. The same 5 guys have started all but 1 game this year.
Robichaux falls forward, gets down to the 6. Jackson Mitchell with another tackle.
And you're going to see number 44 in the game a lot, right? You mentioned George Takis is hurt. Well, Jack Conley, a backup guard, moved his number to 44, so he's an eligible type receiver, but he's in there for blocking purposes. Don't get anything twisted, man. Who knows? Maybe he's got some hands. We'll do a little trick play, but
he already had a defensive tackle score his 6th touchdown of the season for UConn today.
That's true, but he's that in-line blocking tight end for BC today.
Bond in motion. Castellanos gets the snap. Can he run it in on his own? He's got to beat 3 players. Can't do it. Eric Watts tracked him down. That play looked a little discombobulated from the start.
It did. Didn't look like he handled the snap correctly. I don't know whether it was designed to be a handoff, but you see,
Bond was like right in the snapping range.
Castellanos tried to just make something of it, but now, right after that penalty, you got 3rd and goal from the 6-yard line.
Robichaux's in the backfield. That's Tomlin in motion to the top of your screen. Boston College moved again.
Yeah.
Again, the left side of the line. This time, I believe it was Taylor, left tackle.
False start. Offense, number 65. 5-yard penalty. Still third down.
And, you know, it looks eerily similar to what Boston College fans saw the first few weeks. They had tons of penalties through the first 3 weeks. BC ranked last in the FBS and ACC with 38 penalties.
The ball being snapped. Timeout.
And a lot of those were pre-snap penalties like that. They changed up their cadence to try to fix it, but rearing its ugly head again.
Officials giving Boston College a timeout before the snap, so they'll save those 5 yards. 3rd down and goal when we come back.
To send out medical bills. Good hands.
Hospital bill for Prime. Yeah. Did you just say Gap?
He's talking about expenses health insurance doesn't cover.
Good thing Coach Prime knows about. Say it one time. Aflac. Because Aflac gets you money to help close that gap.
Now, how do we get this goat out of here?
Aflac. Meet one of my new homies.
Get help with expenses health insurance doesn't cover. Aflac is an official sponsor of ESPN College Game Day.
Elephant would have been scarier.
Now there's only one direction for us to go. The back streets.
Trolls Band Together. Rated PG. Sneak previews November 4th. In theaters everywhere November 17th. Get tickets now.
Hello?
.30 tonight. The ACC Huddle Crews are going to be back with highlights and a breakdown of all the afternoon games, as well as getting you set for North Carolina and Georgia Tech. They're out in front of the Tech Tower down in the Dirty all day today. After the game, full post-game wrap-up show. It's all right here on the ACC Network and on the ESPN app. BC on this 11-play, 60-yard drive. They've taken almost 6 minutes off the clock, Mark. 10 of those 11 plays have been on the ground, but they're facing a 3rd down and goal here.
Yeah, and all the way down to near the end zone, pretty clean, right? And then 2 false start penalties back them up and make this 3rd down try even tougher.
They got a timeout. They granted them a timeout before that last false start.
Oh, there you go.
So they got that 5 yards back. They burned a timeout, but down here, that's a smart play. Broome in the backfield with Castellanos. Castellanos will throw. Out to Broome on the screen. He can walk in.
There you go, Alex Broome's first receiving touchdown of the game, and really, he just beats the pressure coming to the outside, and number 15 really should flare. They call it flare control, pick up the back who's flaring out, but does not, and Alex Broome is the recipient of an easy touchdown.
Needed more flair on that play.
Needed more flair.
Not nearly as many pieces as required. 14 unanswered for the Eagles. They took UConn's first shot, marched down the field twice. This time, Broome completely uncovered the lead for BC.
For dark roads, Sylvania lighting experts design headlight bulbs for better visibility. See better tonight when you upgrade today. Visit Sylvania.com or the auto parts professionals at these retailers.
Welcome back. It is homecoming here for Boston College, meaning all the stars are out, including former Boston College head coach Tom Coughlin, serving here for coach in the 91-93 season. Now he is here with me live. Coach, welcome back. I mean, you said you don't remember the last time you were back here being on campus in this atmosphere. The Eagles up. How does it feel?
Well, the great thing was coming in, before the game, and I've never been to a Boston College game where I was outside coming in. The only time I have been is when we were on the field. But it's exciting to be in this atmosphere. I kind of prepared myself to see the guys again, but it's very meaningful to have the guys come up and, thank you for, at the time they didn't thank me, but now thank you and tell you what it's meant to their lives to having played for us. And of course we had, when I was here the first time in '83 with Coach McNell, I had the privilege of coaching Doug Flutie. And I came back in '93. Glenn Foley was my quarterback. And, of course, we had the great win in '93 against Notre Dame. So it's great to come back and have all these memories and see all these young men.
You've had such great success here, seeing you catch up with Doug, giving hugs on the sideline. Thomas Castellanos out here also making some plays. What have you made of what he's been able to do?
Well, I'm watching a young man, move the ball, and obviously they've designed the offense around him. Watch out. They've designed the offense to fit him in his position. He's done an outstanding job, and they've had two great rushing games in a row, and I'm sure they're counting on that later today.
And we were talking to Coach Hafley. He says this confidence of this team is just really blossoming. You've had so much success, college level, NFL. You spoke to the team. What did you say to them?
Well, I just reviewed some of the history, and I challenged them, and I told them about the position that they're in, and the success of their season will be what happens in the next 5 games. So, I one at a time, but it can be done.
So one of those guys who I heard a message from you was Mark Herzlich up in the booth. You guys were in New York Giants together. Any stories you can share that's TV safe of Mark?
No. No, there aren't. No, Mark always amazed me at his endurance, his conditioning, his toughness, and his willingness to do whatever we wanted him to do to help us win.
Still a great teammate. What do you think, Mark?
Yeah, Coach was fantastic, man. I learned so much from playing for Coach, and it was a pleasure every day to see his prep, what he did in order to get our team ready every morning. I'll never forget this. 4 a.m. he would be in his coaching office reviewing his 8 a.m. speech that he'd give the team. Like, everything he did was of the utmost importance, even those meetings at 8 a.m. And I took that to try to replicate in my career.
Pass batted down after pressure applied by BC.
Incomplete pass. Pass was tapped.
And it looks like this defense is going to get off the field after a 3 and out. So they've stepped up their part of the game, maybe taking a little inspiration from not only Tom Coughlin, but from the offense with 2 straight touchdown drives.
Yeah, and a good job on the pressure, right? You get there, you get in that throwing lane, and you see all the guys around the football. I mean, that's hard, right? It's hard for a quarterback when you have that many guys coming, and the only reason that they can do that is because their defensive backs just know how to play man-to-man like the best of them. And, Jeff, you talk about coaches, right? Everyone has their little flavor. Tom Coughlin was an offensive guy. Jeff Hafley, he's a defensive backs guy. There's no wonder why his DBs are playing the way they are.
Williams, after another great Caratan punt, going to get driven back. Brought down inside the 20. They'll mark him at the 18. Perfect time for Herzlick's heroes. Mark?
Yeah, every week we try to highlight someone who's given back to the community, and Tom Coughlin has been that for this Boston College community. You know, he talks about he hasn't been on campus, but his legacy has been around here. Jay McGillis was a player for him who lost his life, his battle against cancer, and Tom Coughlin said, look, if there's ever a time where I'm in the position to give back and help families like Jay's, I will. And he created his foundation in Jay's name, the Jay Fund. You see a bunch of guys coming back every year to the golf tournament and to the dinner in New York City. And Boston College roots run deep with Jay McGillis, and the spring game is named after him. So Tom Coughlin, thank you for all you've done for this community, giving back and raising millions and millions of dollars for those families with children battling pediatric cancer.
Jaden Skeet, thought we would see this freshman, number 6 for Boston College, a little bit more today, and he's on the receiving end there. That's his first catch as a member of the BC Eagles. First of, I'm sure, Coach Hafley and company hope are many for number 6.
Yeah, he's an explosive guy. You know, he's on the bigger side as their wide receivers go, 6'1", 180 pounds, and they feel like he can stretch the field vertically as well. And you know, between him and Joseph Griffin, they're 2 big X's out on the field.
Castellanos to throw. Overshoots Bond. Had 2 receivers in close proximity to each other out there. Let's bring up a 3rd down. By the way, just want to make reference. We had good to hear from Coach Coughlin. He mentioned Doug Flutie here today. We're going to speak to Doug Flutie in the second half. He's going to come up here and join us in the booth, so looking forward to that. I'm sure he's down there right now hoping BC can convert this 3rd down. There's number 22 on the wall.
And Mike Ruth he's in the building today too. Saw him before the game.
Castellanos, low snap, quick throw. Almost a great-handed catch by Skeet. He'll be brought down at the 41. That's why they need to get number 6 involved more often. What a great catch. 35 yards, Mark.
Man, and he bailed his quarterback out on this play. Ball a little bit behind, but I mean, you're watching a young player make some big plays.
Castellanos will run it. He's got room and a blocker in front. Patiently awaited for that block to come to fruition. It's an 11-yard gain. They want to go fast here, Mark. They've got UConn on their heels. This defense has been on the field for a good bit in this first half.
Yeah, they have. Let's take another look at that catch. I mean, just a great job of concentrating. You see, there's a linebacker coming from inside out, got on the outside, and the ability to start his feet again. Skeet got going fast and was able to pick up a lot of yards after that reception. Man, if he can get going on the outside, the way the running game is heating up.
Bond trying to find some blocks. Can he get a block from his quarterback? Can he need more than one? The pursuit just catches up with him. That's going to be a loss of 5. Malcolm Bell finally tracked him down, but it could have been any number of UConn Huskies.
It's a big loss of yardage play. You know, Bond's trying to make some plays, but now you're set up in 2nd and long. And in this situation, right, you're always looking for screens. You're looking for QB draws, just something to get back on track for this offense.
And a field goal range as well here, Mark.
Yeah. UConn looks like they're lining up in the man coverage with maybe a hole player underneath.
Castellanos will throw. UConn brings just 4, so he's got plenty of time. And to your point, just get some of it back and get into a little bit more of a manageable position here on 3rd down.
Yeah, and another ball to Skeet. And if Thomas Castellanos finds you and he's confident in you catching the football, he'll feed you. I mean, we've seen that time and time again with Lewis Bond, with Ryan O'Keefe when he was healthy. If Jaden Skeet catching the ball like this, number 1's going to go his way more often.
And with O'Keefe out, it's an opportunity for the others, whether it's Bond, whether it's Griffin, Tomlin. We've seen Jaden Williams. Now Jaden Skeet. 3rd and 10, whistles. Boston College saw something they didn't like.
Boston College, 2nd timeout.
2nd timeout of the half for the Eagles. Coach Hafley and company will talk things over, facing a 3rd and long, up 7.
Greatness is a feeling. Fearless. Brotherhood. Greatness is more than winning the game. It's changing it. Greatness is what we do. Accomplish greatness.
This Halloween,
mystery lurks around every corner.
Bundle up with Disney Plus and Hulu.
I'm gonna need you to spread the word.
Sound the alarm!
You'll have so much fun. It's scary.
That's gonna be a game changer.
The Disney Bundle with Disney Plus and Hulu.
Because, well, somebody should. That's simple human sense. Ask your independent agent if auto owners make sense for you.
Hey guys, I'm Chris with Rinse Kit. 10 years ago, I made a makeshift shower out of PVC pipe in my garage for showering off after surfing. This creation turned into Rinse Kit, which is a portable water system which allows you to shower off or clean up your gear anywhere you go. Over the past decade, hundreds of thousands of customers have used Rinse Kit to clean up in unexpected ways. Over the years, we evolved into a battery-powered pressure system, which we now integrate across all of our models. People love it because of the strong, consistent pressure and how easy it is to use. But we're not stopping here. We're committed to keep reinventing and recreating these systems to make your outdoor adventures even better. Thank you to those of you who've been part of the Rinse Kit journey for the past 10 years. And for those of you that haven't tried it, I invite you to join the Rinse Kit family so you can enjoy.
There he is, the greatest BC Eagle of all time, Doug Flutie. He's going to join us in the second half. But well before that, we're going to send you back to Atlanta for the Auto Owners Insurance Halftime Report. Kelsey Riggs and the Huddle crew are there going to get you caught up on everything going on today. First half recap of our game. They'll give you an update on FSU and Wake Forest as well, and preview Duke and Louisville. That's a big-time game later on tonight, so you're not going to want to miss that. Doug Flutie will join us in the second half, but he's hoping BC will have an even bigger lead. Got to convert here, though, on 3rd down and long to keep this drive alive. Castellanos to throw. UConn bringing just 3. He's got time, but throws it into traffic, and it's incomplete. Trying to get it to his tight end, Jeremiah Franklin, well downfield, and Chris Sheeran in coverage knocked it away. Now a decision here. 48-yard field goal, a little bit of crosswind.
Yeah.
A little bit behind Franklin.
And some 4th down decisions are decisions where you're like, all right, what's going to be the better? This is like we don't want to go from a 4th and 10. We also don't want to kick a 48-yard field goal.
And if you don't make it, you're kind of thinking, well, they're on the 36-yard line with under 2 to play. You see his 2 for 2 on 4th down today, but this is a different kettle of fish. Castellanos has time. He's going to have to make it on his own. Now he wants to throw to the end zone. Has a receiver. If he doesn't overthrow, then he does. Wow. 2 for 2 on 4th down. He has a receiver. If he doesn't overthrow, then he does. Wow. 2 for 2 on 4th down. He has a receiver. If he doesn't overthrow, then he does. Wow. 2 for 2 on 4th down. He has a receiver. If he doesn't overthrow, then he does. Wow. 2 for 2 on 4th down. He has a receiver. If he doesn't overthrow, then he does. Wow. 2 for 2 on 4th down. He has a receiver. If he doesn't overthrow, then he does. Wow. 2 for 2 on 4th down. He has a receiver. If he doesn't overthrow, then he does. Wow. 2 for 2 on 4th down. He has a receiver. If he doesn't overthrow, then he does. Wow. 2 for 2 on 4th down. He has a receiver. If he doesn't overthrow, then he does. Wow. 2 for 2 on That was Joe Griffin, and he was wide open, but Castellanos just a little bit too much on it. Griffin is 6'3".
On the field, it's an incomplete pass. The ball goes over and down.
But he couldn't get that foot down in bounds. Almost hit the goalpost, the crossbar.
Yeah, he did. They got a good chip on the defensive end, and Castellanos does a great job of just getting his composure, but you see him falling back a little bit on that throw and just muscles it too much in the air. And, you know, take a little bit off that, but great stop by UConn. Big play on 3rd down by Sheeran, and then getting off the field on 4th down.
Now let's see if UConn can get their mojo going a little bit more offensively. It's been stagnant here in this second quarter after a fruitful first. Roberson's got a minute 40 to make something happen. Edwards absorbs contact, falls forward, picks up 4. See UConn on the board there, has all 3 timeouts at their disposal. Roberson to throw. As a receiver, ooh, man, that you can see that hit coming. That was Justin Jolie, the tight end, and that's one of those, Mark, when he's in the air, you're thinking to yourself, oh, this is going to be bad.
Hey, this is one where you got to talk to your quarterback. Don't throw that ball, because that is a clean hit, right? That is the hit that the NCAA wants to see in that situation. You have a kill shot on a receiver. You hit him in the shoulder pad on his shoulder pad. Clean hit, man.
Cole Batson, nice job. Textbook, and it's 3rd down. Pressure up the middle. Set up the screen. They did it nicely. Mitchell got to make some men miss, and he gets the 1st down. Jalen Mitchell, the transfer from Louisville. Just the 2nd catch of the year, and it's a big one. It'll move the sticks for UConn.
Oh, it was a huge play, and
maybe not. Maybe they'll mark him shy of it.
Interesting.
That is an interesting spot.
And in that case, you know, this is a situation, right, where they're keeping their offense out in the field. Boston College cannot jump off sides, right? You know, I think if you're Jim Mora, you should punt this ball away, because if you do get stopped, now Boston College has a minute 10 before half, and they get the ball back to start the second.
And now UConn wants to call a timeout to talk things over.
Timeout. Connecticut. First, charge timeout. Timeout will be 30 seconds.
Let's see what this last play, Jalen Mitchell went out of bounds, and see where they spot the ball. He's got to get to the 41. Yeah, that might be a good spot, yeah. It looked like from our angle that he definitely got to the 41, but that ball on his left arm, and it's where that ball goes out of bounds, not where Mitchell goes out of bounds. And I think if he has it in his right arm, it's probably a 1st down, but it's about a yard shy. And one thing on that play, Mark, before the timeout was called, Mora had big defensive tackle Jelani Stafford in the game, 97, and potentially a lead blocker.
Yeah, and this becomes like a goal line type situation. Now, the question is, okay, if you do get the 4th and 1, you're in hurry-up offense, 2 minutes. Do you want 97 on the field still for that, right? And I think it's too important to get the yard, and they're going to try to go for it. If BC gets this stop, that could be a game changer.
They will snap it and go for it. Roberson is going to throw it.
No way.
Trying to hit his big fella out of the backfield, and that one was blown up. Stafford was the intended receiver. And I guess at this point, Mark, you're 1-6 on the year. You're on the road. Let's just pull out all the stops. Yeah. And try and totally fool him by putting 97 out in the pattern.
Well, you know, I doubt he was the #1 option, right? But a good job in the play fake. And
he had to be, right? Unless he was trying to get the tight end coming off that scrape block.
Yeah, you know, good job by Elijah Jones just reading it a little bit. Jim Mora's like, what's going on?
Head and hands.
Right, but now, you know, Boston College, after just driving down for a score, they could, you know, have a 14-point swing if they can get in the end zone here and then get the ball back to start the second half.
They've got 1 timeout on the board. Castellanos will throw. UConn brings 4, dumps it off. Robichaux makes the catch, but doesn't get anywhere. Amina Brown on the stop. Clock continues to run. BC opting not to use that timeout. Castellanos over the middle. Franklin wasn't able to bring it in. It'll bring up 3rd down and 10. You and I kind of go back and forth on this. Now you go big feather in the cap of UConn's defense if they can pick up their offense here with a stop.
Yeah, it is. And again, that's another drop pass. I mean, that should have been caught by the tight end and wasn't. And now another drop leaves you in 3rd and long. Remember where they are if they do get yardage. I mean, they went for it on 4th and 10 from this same spot last series. So this is 4-down territory for Boston College.
Tomlin on the carry, has a blocker in front of him. That's Robichaux, and he falls forward for the 1st down. Well-designed play, Mark. Robichaux was out in front and paved the way for Tomlin. They're going to want to go quickly here.
Tomlin again making a big play in a big moment.
Castellanos to throw. It's Griffin, gets out of bounds.
Nice catch by Griffin. He's been one of those guys who has struggled at times with drops during this year. He's such a talent at that wide receiver position. If he can gain some confidence in this game, like he can be that vertical threat, that jump ball guy. Good rhythm with his quarterback right there.
Wasn't able to pick up the 1st down, but got 9 yards and got out of bounds. So you see with that timeout still in their pocket, facing a 2nd down and 1.
Ineligible receiver right there.
Castellanos is going to run it. Gets enough for the 1st down. They'll move the sticks. Clock will stop temporarily.
And you're getting Boston College lining up in these unbalanced formations, and UConn has to decipher which receiver is ineligible, which one cannot go downfield. And Boston College that time running to the short side of the field.
Castellanos to throw. Going to the end zone. Double coverage. It's intercepted. That's a big mistake by Castellanos. Malik Dixon-Williams on the pick.
That is an ill-advised throw into double coverage, forcing it. You talk about wanting to throw a jump ball to Joe Griffin at some point in the game, but that was an underthrown ball, kind of off his back foot, trying to make a little bit more of the play than he had.
That had no chance.
No. And also, Dixon-Williams does a good job of reading the quarterback's eyes. There was never a look off by Castellanos. It was, hey, this is my guy. I'm going for him. And, just like that, UConn's safe for now.
Defense forces their 2nd turnover of the day, both from the hands of Castellanos. One on a fumble, one on a pick, and Jim Moore content just take a knee. Drove it in for the score. Offense for UConn non-existent in that 2nd quarter. Jaden Williams from his goal line. Nice job of coverage by UConn. They're going to drop him at the 16. Sherry Burris is down on the field. What do you got for us, Sherry?
Chris, Jeff Hafley said disappointed multiple times talking to him going into the half about those turnovers. But he said this group is resilient, and that's who they are, and we are seeing that. But talking to head coach Jim Moore, he said they need to get a stop here to start the 2nd half with the experience that they have of being in so many close games. He thinks that will help them here, but he emphasized they just need something good to happen. He pointed out that pick to end the half, but they need to capitalize it, and he wants to see more from the offense. Thought it just wasn't doing enough, but I got to tell you, he said running back Victor Rosa is down. He just sometimes have to protect a player from himself.
Yeah, so we won't see Rosa in this 2nd half, most likely, but we are seeing Emmett Moorhead. Coach Hafley going with Moorhead as his quarterback to start this 2nd half, and continue to look for number 1 in red on the sideline, and I see him right here. He is down there with his helmet off, does not have his helmet in hand, so coach is talking to him, and I'm sure they spent the entire half speaking with him. I'm not sure when he got injured, Mark, because you think about his last play of that 1st half. I don't remember a moment that it could have happened. Now he's warming up on the sideline, but BC going with Moorhead to start this 2nd half. Here connecting on the receiving end with Joe Griffin. On 2nd down and 8, he'll bring up 3rd and short. There's Moorhead, who started the year as the number 1 quarterback. Young man out of Southern California.
There's a helmet. He found a helmet, found a ball. Found his way to the field. He's a head trainer right there, tapping him on the shoulder. Keep an eye on that.
Of utmost concern for Boston College is converting on this third down. And they're going to move the sticks, it looks like. They will. So now if you're UConn as well, Mark, you suddenly have a total change of strategy defensively, don't you?
Well, you do. And anytime you get to, third down situations, when you have a less mobile quarterback, you tell your defensive ends, all right, go get him, right? But that's a different mindset. Moorhead's going to do a lot more of that drop back passing. He's already connected with Joe Griffin.
Robichaux, that'll help. It's 9 on first down.
And you still got the offensive line. Watch this right side just absolutely mush the defensive line of UConn.
Good block by Jaden Williams on the edge to first down Boston College. So successive first downs to start this second half without Castellanos. And there you see he's warming up. I don't remember him having that sleeve on his left leg there.
No, didn't have the sleeve.
First half.
And you see the towel too, right? His hands were slick and wet. And really in not much hurry to get back in the game, it looks like. And Emmett Moorhead, we talked about, he was the starter coming into week 1. Really has a strong arm. I love what he can do getting the ball down the field.
Broome, big hole up the middle. Gets it to the next level and gets 7.
I mean, it doesn't matter who's quarterback.
When you're 7 or 8 yards on first down.
Yeah, when you're able to hand the ball off like that. And just, if you're watching Boston College, right? Say you're a UConn fan and you saw Boston College last year and you're watching them this year. It's a completely different looking team. And Jim Moore even said, we're barely even looking at last year's film because of how different this offense is. And it's really started with the offensive line for BC.
Moore ahead to throw. It's Griffin.
Ooh, wow.
Who gets plastered inside the 40. Ronte Jones dropped him there, but it's 14 yards. And Emmett Moorhead now has Boston College on the move.
Yeah, and Joe Griffin. So good to see him getting involved in this pass game. On that little crossing route, good job on the bootleg of hitting him, and took a lick on that play, but he's such a fun player to watch. And yeah, we talked to the coaching staff. We're like, hey, can you tell he's a coach's son? They're like, yeah, by his football knowledge, but he works on his touchdown dances and his celebrations probably more than Mike might like to know, but so proud of his son. And he just, we talk about it. He gets big catches in big situations, third down, fourth down catches. It seems like that's when Dino Tomlin shows up. Very sure-handed and calm under pressure.
Saw that shot of Dino as a young man with his mom and dad. Moorhead's 3 for 3 for 28 yards on this drive. It's a tough spot to be in. Backup quarterback. Went to the locker room at the half. You come out. Coaching staff says, "You ready? Because you're going in." Another big hole for Robichaux. Moving the sticks again. This offensive line is taken over.
And if you're on the defensive side and you're just getting plowed through like this, you really need one play, right? You need one no yardage gain play, maybe an incomplete pass. But if you get that one stop, right? Okay, now it's 2nd and 10. Now we have a little bit of a chance. But if you continuously give up 3-4 yards on first down, it's demoralizing.
Franklin in motion, the tight end to the top of your screen. Now he comes back. Little confusion, and Broome is dropped for a loss.
Yeah, and there it is. And who better to make that stop for the defense by Jackson Mitchell? They're all-world linebacker. He's a Butkus Award finalist last year as a true junior. Watch number 8 shoot the gap, get underneath the pulling guard, and just able to blow up the tight end. That's a big-time play.
So really, for the first time on this entire drive, Boston College now behind the sticks. 2nd down and 14. Moorhead flag comes down, though. And a false start. BC will back up 5 more.
False start. Offense, number 60. It's a 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Hurgle again, and you have your backup quarterback in. A lot of things change. One of those things is the cadence. Different guy barking out the signals. And now, right, you mentioned you just need one stop, one negative yardage play. They've gotten 2 back-to-back. Long way to go for Emmett Morehead.
Morehead quickly out to Tomlin. Brought down from behind. Got a chunk of that yardage back. Price Yates on the tackle. Nothing else. This drive is also working that clock. Look, we're about to go under 8 minutes left to go here in this third quarter. Third down and 11. Just look at Morehead. Got Alex Broom in the backfield with him. Tomlin in motion. Morehead looking his way. Now fakes that way and tries to come the other way for the screen, but he overshoots his receiver out of the backfield, Alex Broom. That could have been dangerous, but it falls incomplete. It'll bring up 4th down. It looks like BC's going to attempt a long field goal here. Not much wind to speak of. If anything, it's helping, but it's swirling a little bit. 44-yard attempt. That would be a season long for Liam Connor. Previous long is 42. Good snap, good hold, good kick. Just sails wide right. Once again, UConn's defense holds. They bend, they don't break, and it's 14-7 BC on top. Greatest Eagle of them all, other than Mark Herzlich, of course, is going to be here in the booth with us when we come back.
Man, this coach done took over our office.
And he's using it to send out medical bills. Good hands.
Hospital bill for Prime. Yeah. Did you just say Gap?
He's talking about expenses health insurance doesn't cover.
Good thing Coach Prime knows about. Say it one time. Aflac. Because Aflac gets you money to help close that gap.
Now, how do we get this goat out of here?
Aflac. Meet one of my new homies.
Get help with expenses health insurance doesn't cover.
Aflac
is an official sponsor of ESPN College Game Day.
Elephant would have been scarier.
Team, it's been a grind, but I think I've aged you well. Some might say perfect. Who's ready to show 'em who's the cheesiest?
I woke up feeling the cheesiest, Coach.
Cheez-It, official sponsor of the college football playoff.
Lunch?
Yes, please.
That'll be $23.
Your ad says it's free.
Yeah, it is for our economy ultimate passengers who paid extra.
I'll just have water.
Okay, sure. Cash or card?
For water?
Well, at AT&T, when we offer you our best iPhone deals, we guarantee it. Even on the new iPhone 15 Pro, made with titanium. Not that you don't keep your word, it's just that you haven't.
What?
Only AT&T gives everyone our best deals on any iPhone with any popular plan. Guaranteed. Get iPhone 15 Pro on us.
Hey, I'm Elizabeth, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich is the collab of flavors. The sweet honey, the pickled jalapeno peppers, and the creamy pimento cheese. It is a perfect bite.
Hey y'all, this is Ronte, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich is the richness of the pimento cheese. When I took a first bite, I was like, go, go, go cheese, go pimento, go honey, go chicken, go, go, go get it.
I've seen some passionate college football fans.
Sling Blue 40, Sling Blue 40!
But with Sling TV, some are taking their love to the next level. Right on the numbers.
I can still suit up, right, Des?
No.
Yeah!
Let's not. With Sling, you can stream college football on ESPN for the best price. the college football you love, the live TV you love.
Hey, can you...
Midway through the third quarter, 14-7, our score, Boston College on top of UConn. Here in the booth with Doug Flutie, good enough to join us, honoring your 1983 team, 40 years. Does it seem like 40 years to you?
Oh, my goodness. No, not at all. But then all of a sudden, all the kids are already graduating. Oh, it's like everyone's got grandchildren. It's like, yeah, it's been 40 years.
And you have been tugged and pulled in every direction today. I mean, when the greatest shows up on Chestnut Hill on the Heights, right, everybody wants a piece of you.
It's been a busy day, but it's so much fun being on campus, being around and seeing everybody, seeing other guys that you grew up with. We all came to Boston College as kids and left as men. It was awesome. Just good seeing everybody. Tom Coughlin was here and Coach McNell.
Yeah. Really, I think it's cool, right? You get the camaraderie, you get guys back, and Coughlin was able to join us, for an interview earlier in the game, and here you are. You're going to help us break some stuff down. You're an analyst in another life, right?
This is UConn, right? What are we fumbling in the first drive? It's 14-7. I left you in charge, Herzlich. What the heck? Let's go.
Well, this just goes to show, and it happened to them last year. They turned the ball over 5 times last year. They were sacked 5 times last year, and they lost 13-3. It's not too dissimilar this year. They're letting them hang around.
Yeah, the very first drive, BC had a couple of good runs, and we're going to run the ball right down the field, and boom, the fumble. Gives them life, and it's a game.
Well, we may talk more defense with you than offense, because BC with an opportunity here on third down to get back off the field, applying pressure.
Nice
Great play to get rid of it, though. Not going to be a first down, but a nice play by Roberson just to find his receiver, Cameron Ross.
Roberson's athletic. Now, he's making plays. If they caught everything he threw that's on their hands, they'd have a handful more plays. He's making some plays for him.
Well, both the teams have had drops, right? I mean, what is it like as a quarterback when you're dealing with drops? I mean, it's got to be frustrating, right? But
you can't yell at someone, right?
Yes, exactly.
You got to be constructive or just encouraging, and no one's trying to drop the ball, but there's times where you got to step up and make a play.
BC forcing UConn to punt. Williams will let it bounce. That takes a fortuitous bounce for the Eagles. They'll take over inside their own 30 when we come back. Doug Flutie's going to stick with us here for a bit. 14-7. Eagles on top in the third.
We have a special guest today on ESPN College Game Day, the Geico Gecko.
Look, just get to the part when you tell everyone how easy it is to ensure what's important to them. Home, car, even RV. Come on, there's an RV right there. Did he even see the talking points I gave him?
I don't believe so, sir.
For all your insurance needs from home to car to RV, it's easy to Geico.
Desmond?
I forgot the talking points.
In Arby's opinion, the cheesesteak is perfect. And you don't mess with perfection. Arby's does. Arby's, we have the meat.
Uh-huh.
No sweat.
...1984 when he won the Heisman Trophy, and of course, plays like this. You were a dual threat quarterback before it was really in vogue.
Yeah, we moved around. I just, you know, especially early in my career, I did nothing but scramble around, look for open receivers, and then as it went, I got a little more polished.
And this one right here, of course, the Hail
He's
Mary.
not going to drop it this time, is he? Thank you, Gerard. Good job.
Gerard Phelan, and of course, Trapillo lifting you up in the air, and his son plays for Boston College
Stevie
now.
Tripp, his son playing, and Ozzie, yes. And I found out a little-known fact there, Normie. After 35 years, I saw a different camera angle. Tight end Pete Casparillo is all by himself at the 10-yard line on the weak side. He would have walked in.
That wouldn't have been interesting, though. That wouldn't have been interesting.
I'm sure he tells you all the time, like, I was wide open. Why didn't you throw it to me?
For 35 years, he was telling me he had a chance, and I finally saw a camera angle that justified it. We got our quarterback back.
You got Castellanos back in there after taking a series off. You saw him warming up on the sideline, and for whatever reason, he didn't play in that opening series in the second half, but he's back in, and just now we get an opportunity to really ask you what you make of his game.
He's so elusive and quick and suddenness. He gives them a chance, you know. He throws the ball okay, he throws it well, but because he buys time, he's throwing to guys that are wide open.
And he missed a couple of those wide open receivers in the first half, and his receivers didn't do him a lot of favors either with a couple of drops, but all that is in the past now is they're getting the running game going as they did in that first drive in the second half. You got guys like Robichaux, and Robichaux's kind of exploded on the scene here the last couple of games.
You know, it just get back in sync. And we don't know what the injury was.
Right.
So is he going to be mobile? Is he going to be elusive? How are they going to play?
You got to think if he's playing, he's got to play his game, right? If he's in there, he's got to use his legs to his advantage. Throwing. Williams sidesteps a defender, gets shoved out of bounds. Flag down right about the point of attack, where Williams made the catch in a few words, back and forth.
That's going to be on Jaden Skeet. And
holding, offense number 6. It's a 10-yard penalty. Third down.
Yes, you're right. Good call on that one, Doug. On Skeet, 10 yards from the spot.
Well, I thought they were going to let this go.
They did. I tell you what, it was the back judge, I think, threw the flag, or the referee from all the way behind the play threw it out there, and Skeet's had some good plays in this one. But, you know, I want to ask you about the O-line, right? Because watching BC last year, just so many questions, so much rotation in the O-line. You've played with some good O-linemen and good O-line units. How important is it for a QB to have all 5 of those guys really play every game?
Well, with an offensive line, they get to know each other. So you're coming off blocks up to the linebacker level, things like that. And as they play together, it gets better and better. And the bottom line is he buys time at quarterback and has made them competitive until this O-line has started to solidify, and now they're starting to play.
Nice look at that pass. That's enough to move the sticks. Skeet again on the receiving end. This two has a little bit of a bond going back and forth. 16 yards, Doug.
There you go. Break down this pass, Doug.
Well, he's a corner route. He turns the safety. There's a coverage in the flat. They look someone to the flat. Nice little corner route. Put the ball in that dead zone out there about 18 to 20. That is a big-time throw. That's a legitimate throw downfield from the pocket, which is cool to see for Castellanos.
He's had time, too. UConn hasn't brought a whole lot of pressure. They've allowed him time in the pocket as Robichaux gets 3 yards on first down.
Yeah, and Doug, you know, when we were off camera, you're watching some of his highlights. Get that elbow up. Get that elbow. What do you mean by? I just want to. What do you mean by that?
He throws a nice spiral. He's accurate with the ball, but he throws with a low elbow, kind of pushes the ball a little bit. But you know, he's sort of a Phillip Rivers delivery.
Yeah.
All right. So Tom Brady always preached: the higher straight over the top you are, the more accurate you are with the ball. Some of the athletic kids, I threw from 3/4 anyway, so you can do it anyway.
Here you can see the strength, breaking a tackle at the line of scrimmage, falling forward for another 3. Bryce Yates finally brought him down. Another third down here, opportunity for Boston College.
Again, we don't know what the injury was, but in order for this offense to be effective, he needs to be able to use his legs, be a runner, do what he did early in the first half, all that stuff. And, you know, we haven't seen it quite yet in this drive to see him take off. And I want to, you know, I'd like to know how healthy he is.
Get him an opportunity out in space. First and foremost right now, Eagles trying to convert here on third down. Williams again in motion. Castellanos will throw. BC brings a little bit of pressure here. Fires that one to Williams. and they'll move the sticks. That's another confident throw.
A pocket throw, too.
Yes, a pocket throw. And good protection, right? You get a good job. Watch Robichaux work outside, work across the quarterback's face, and just sift out who's coming, right? Getting to the outside, finding the linebacker, and just stand in the pocket. Good throw.
And I do not know what his injury is. But when I had like a foot injury or something where I wasn't as mobile, all of a sudden I stood in the pocket a little better and threw the ball. He's got 2 straight completions, dead from the pocket, and delivered the strikes.
Now Broom in motion, empty backfield. Castellanos fakes, wants to go downfield. Has a lot of room to run if he chooses. Now he throws, has a wide open tight end inside the 15. That's Charlie Gordonier. Man, the tight ends in this offense really get downfield. That's 30 yards.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, he had Gordonier about 5 seconds earlier in the play, too. He was open for about 10 seconds, and finally a nice throw to the outside. But, Doug, that's what you're talking about, right? He's able to move outside the pocket and you throw to wide open guys instead of guys who are covered.
When you extend plays, guys get open and in space. And, again, instead of just taking off, he kind of just slid to the outside and delivered the ball.
Robichaux, there's a lot of room to run there. He'll score easily. Well, whatever is wrong with Castellanos at the half, nothing cures an ill like a touchdown scoring drive. And that's exactly what BC just had right there to extend their lead. Extra point pending. This could be 14.
And, I mean, that's just a big boy drive. Yeah. And that's, something Boston College hasn't had in the past, year or so. And now you're back to those big boy drives where you also have a quarterback like how you played who can make something happen, make a playmaker.
Well, there's a little comfort zone now. They're up 2 scores.
The Robichaux continues his second touchdown of the day. Boston College extends their lead to 14 here in the third.
We have a special guest today on ESPN College Game Day, the Geico Gecko.
Look, just get to the part when you tell everyone how easy it is to insure what's important to them. Home, car, even RV. Come on, there's an RV right there. Did he even see the talking points I gave him?
I don't believe so, sir.
For all your insurance needs from home to car to RV, it's easy to Geico.
Desmond?
I forgot the talking points.
There's your biggie bag. All that food for $5, right. That's my go-to.
Ooh, that's my ride or die.
Just like you and me. Bag boys. Bag boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when we bring your food?
You can always bet on Biggie, and now earn free food when ordering on the Wendy's app.
Now there's only one direction for us to go. The back streets.
Trolls Band Together. Rated PG. Sneak previews November 4th. In theaters everywhere November 17th. Get tickets now.
To know hockey is to love hockey. The NHL on ESPN and ESPN+.
Con Spectrum Mobile y los nuevos Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 5 y Galaxy Z Flip 5 tendrás velocidades más rápidas ya que cuentas con Spectrum Speed Boost. Ordena el tuyo en Spectrum y recibe hasta $1,000 de descuento más el valor de tu intercambio.
Robichaux's gone over 100 yards for the game. 102 to be exact. Got a couple of touchdowns, including finishing off this drive right here. 8 plays, 70 yards. The running game really got going, and the lead is now 14 for the Eagles. In the booth with Doug Flutie for another 40 seconds before he gets tugged and pulled in yet another direction here today. Inside of Alumni Stadium. Ross keeps his feet long enough to get out to the 22-yard line. We talked about how Mark Herslick loves Halloween. You love Halloween too, don't you?
My daughter goes all out. She makes us go all out every year. Last year was full out Batman. Right. We had 2 Batmobiles, the family dressed. It was, okay, looking good. Those are fake muscles under there. By the way, Adam West did not have anything fake under his. he was all 100% pure West.
Yeah, but
I don't know. Nugenics is might be working for you right there in that Batman costume.
I gotta find a way to put a little muscle on. I'm sorry, it's over. I give up. I'm 61.
Tell you what, but you're lean and mean and running races and running the Boston Marathon this year.
Palmer almost had one, just a little bit out of his reach.
What is your workout regimen now?
My workout regimen is wake up, surf for an hour.
That stinks, man.
And then tough life. I'm actually, and I'm not my winter sport was always basketball. I can't play basketball anymore, so I'm playing hockey now at night in a couple of leagues.
Wow.
It doesn't hurt. Hockey's the one sport that I can still play hard and nothing hurts, like baseball and everything else. But I don't like go to the gym and lift weight. I'm 10 years old. I'm sorry.
You really are. Ageless, Doug. You're ageless.
Roberson has misfired on 7 of his last 8. Oh, that's a beautiful pass right there. Whoa. First down as he finds Jordan Porter.
Boy, Porter had inside technique and runs a corner out with good leverage, and the safety's over the top. So he's going to break to the corner, and this ball is perfectly placed underneath the safety to the sideline, away from the defender. That's a nice throw.
Maybe that gets Roberson back on track. He needs to get on track right now as the clock ticking to end this third quarter. Just gets a playoff, though. Play action. Doesn't have a receiver downfield. He checks up underneath and has his running back. That's Edwards. Makes the catch and spins forward for about 8 yards to end this third quarter. Doug, appreciate you joining us, man. Thank you the rest of the way. Strange.
It's almost like, right, Hafley's like, oh, I know they're going to be coming at me with this question.
Correct. Roberson. Nowhere near his receiver that time. Trying to hit Jolie downfield, but Shone Holla out of his linebacker spot doing a great job in coverage.
Yeah, that was a really good job by Holla, just forcing that tight end to the sideline. And when you look at Justin Jolly, he's not really an inline blocking tight end. He's not really a wide receiver. And Jim Morris said he's just a receiver. He can do it all. And now on 3rd and 1, they're back under center in that weak I formation. Strong I, excuse me.
Edwards just powering his way to the first down. Picked up almost 6 yards on that one.
Timeout.
Got a player down for UConn. Offensive lineman. We'll get a number on this player when we come back. 21-7, BC on top in the 4th.
Coach Saban, this coach done took over our office. And he's using it to send out medical bills. Good hands.
Hospital bill for Prime. Yeah. Did you just say Gap?
He's talking about expenses health insurance doesn't cover.
Good thing Coach Prime knows about. Say it one time. Aflac. Because Aflac gets you money to help close that gap.
Now, how do we get this goat out of here?
Aflac. Meet one of my new homies.
Get help with expenses health insurance doesn't cover. Aflac is an official sponsor of ESPN College Game Day.
Elephant would have been scarier.
Now there's only one direction for us to go. The back streets.
Trolls Band Together. Rated PG. Sneak previews November 4th. In theaters everywhere November 17th. Get tickets now.
Want to know why no one out Pizza Hut? Pizza Hut meat lovers' melts are filled with almost a half a pound of meat and cheese for just $6.99. Enough for two, price for one. That's why no one out-pizzas the Hut.
That AT&T helmet will change my whole life. The world just instantly lifted off of my shoulders.
If you thought Monday Night Ball was big, wait till you see what's in our game plan down at exit 79.
You've earned this, so hold it up high. You always show up, no matter how small the show is. Because anyone can have a dream, but you have what it takes to chase it. You are fighters, and this is your reward. Modelo, the mark.
Yakari Walker, center, was able to walk off under his own power. That was good. There's Nick Charlton. You're familiar with that young man, aren't you?
Yeah, and he was on the Boston College staff as a GA right after I was there. He was actually in school with me, and it was interesting. He was going to kind of transfer out, and Ryan Day, who was the wide receivers coach for Boston College at the time, said, "Nah, stick around, learn how to coach." And he held cards for the scout team, and here he is, offensive coordinator for UConn.
Roberson. It's Porter.
Nice speed.
Porter gets down to the 30. Maybe this is why you didn't recognize him initially. There you see he's got the beard working. Sans beard when he was here at BC.
I'll tell you what, though, that's 2012. He has not aged very much.
11 years in the books. Still looks like he did in that picture, except the beard.
Grow a beard and you shave that beard off, you still look like you're 21. That's pretty good genetics there.
Charlton came here when they hired Jim Moore a year and a half ago. Look at Edwards. Still on his feet. He'll score.
Boom.
No quit in UConn this afternoon. 30 yards for the touchdown.
And just back-to-back games for Cam Edwards, the sophomore out of Norwalk, Connecticut. And this is just a great outside zone. And breaks the first tackle, gets to the open field, and just refuses to go down. Not the fastest guy, right? You mentioned him to the coach, like, he's not the fastest guy. He's not the biggest guy, but he runs faster. Like, he runs at his top speed every single time he has the ball. Great run. A couple back-to-back big games for Cam Edwards.
Yeah, coming off almost 150 last time out. Now he's got 83 this afternoon, and that touchdown right there to keep UConn in it. Early in the fourth quarter, Cam Edwards refusing to go down. Huskies refusing to go away. BC up 7.
We have a special guest today on ESPN College Game Day, the Geico Gecko.
Look, just get to the part when you tell everyone how easy it is to insure what's important to them. Home, car, even RV. Come on, there's an RV right there. Did he even see the talking points I gave him?
I don't believe so, sir.
For all your insurance needs from home to car to RV, it's easy to Geico.
Desmond?
I forgot the talking points.
We don't know any first responders who only give 90%. Or farmers, the workers who build our towns, roads, infrastructure. They don't stop at halfway. And good luck finding a small business owner who's happy with an 80% effort. That's why they use Ford trucks. Ford F-Series, 100% assembled in America. Because we're all in on America.
Want to know why no one out-pizzas the Hut? Pizza Hut meat lovers' melts are filled with almost a half a pound of meat and cheese for just $6.99. Enough for two, price for one. That's why no one out-pizzas the Hut.
That AT&T helmet will change my whole life. The world just instantly lifted off of my shoulders.
Now there's only one direction for us to go. back streets.
Trolls band together. Rated PG. Sneak previews November 4th. In theaters everywhere November 17th.
Well, Cam Edwards, slightly, there you see him right there, number 0 in white, all smiles. Can't see the man to his left. That's Victor Rosa, who was a starting running back for this team at the start of the year. Banged up last game. Wasn't sure whether he'd be able to go this game. He couldn't go. But Edwards filled in for him last week beautifully and has filled in for him admirably today. There you see a little bit of Rosa right there, 22.
Yeah, and right, Cam Edwards was kind of down on the depth chart. They had a couple guys quit, and he really stepped up, and he's a multi-talented guy too. We talked to him the other day, and we said, "Hey, what do you do off the field?" He says, "I draw."
Right.
He's a big artist, and I mean, look at that. I mean, that's I don't know if that's exactly what that's called. Some sort of antelope, I believe.
I believe you're right. Yes.
And that's a good drawing, and that's what he does to kind of kill off steam and when he's away from football.
Yeah, we talked to both he and the quarterback, Taquan Roberson. Roberson likes to get outdoors and enjoy nature. And who knew these two were so serene and
I know.
reflective, if you will.
Kind of built into their nature, right? Getting out in nature, creating. It's just pretty cool.
Rulis, fair catch made by Bond. Sherry, what's going on with those two?
Well, guys, in the spirit of Halloween, I asked, what's your favorite candy, as much as they like to get out? But Taquan told us he's a Reese's guy, which in my book is #1. But Cam was telling us he is a Skittles fanatic. Just the original, nothing fancy. He knows he shouldn't be eating them, but even on a game day morning, guys, he's popping those Skittles.
Yeah,
they said he had to have Skittles.
Had to, right? You got to taste the rainbow before you get out on the field. It has to happen.
I mean, we're throwing out all the plugs today. Taste the Rainbow. We had the eugenics mention when Flutie was here. It's our paycheck.
It's good marketing. Sticks in our brain.
DC staying on the ground. So they've had the lion's share of their success today. And not a whole lot of success on first down there, though. UConn defense now. Let's see if they bow their necks up after the offense kind of puts them right back into this game here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, they're sticking around, right? And I think Jim Moore, if you're going to say, hey, we're going to be within one score in the fourth quarter, he'd have been excited because, this is a team that, hasn't always closed it out the way they want it, right? Last week, they're in that position, have a fumble, turn it over. But that's the next step for them. When you are in striking distance in the fourth quarter, how can you respond? And offense did their job to get it within one score. Now the defense has an opportunity on 3rd and long to make a play.
Right at 200 yards on the ground in this game for Boston College. Doug mentioned it a lot, Doug Flutie, when he was here in the booth with us in the third quarter, about how he didn't know what Castellanos' injury was, but we haven't seen him in the whole second half really take off on a designed run. You know what I'm saying? Like a draw.
We'll see here, right? Because if he does scramble around with his legs, we'll kind of see his ability to move.
Castellanos throwing. Complete to Griffin. That's a first down. Well, he's thrown a lot more as a pocket passer here in the second half.
Yeah, he has. And Doug, talked about it. Sometimes when you're a little bit banged up, you're so much more focused on hitting your mark because there's not really a second threat. That was a great throw. And a good job by Joe Griffin again, coming down with the catch.
There you see Castellanos' numbers, all of those rushing yards really in the first half. Now he has all kinds of time to throw. Broom takes him about 4. Black chased him out of bounds. 22 and White's been all over the field today.
Yeah, it was a good job by Castellanos not taking the bait, right? You get a guy coming here on the corner and you get a clear out route. Your back is here. He wanted this route, but he did a good job of pulling off of that and just coming down and making the safe throw, right? There's that 7 route. He wanted it, but then he pulled it down. And that's where in the first half we saw some of the interceptions take place where you're forcing it into an unfavorable coverage. Good job of taking what the defense gave him on that throw.
Going to give Broom 3 on the catch. Now Castellanos will roll. Has a defender right in his face. He's going to have to get rid of it here, and he's going to get sacked. Price Yates again in the backfield brings him down.
A great rush by Price Yates. And
Eric Watts, too, number 95, is 6'5", and he looked every bit of it.
Yeah, he did. And, it's just a good job of staying in your leverage. You see how he chops his feet and just gets in front of him, doesn't run past Castellanos. That's a good job of playing team defense and getting a sack. And, you didn't see that mobility as much from Castellanos, and now you get 3rd and forever. And really, you got to imagine they're going to run the ball or throw a screen. Don't want to turn the ball over in this situation.
Broom in motion. Castellanos wanted to run it, had nowhere to go, had to just dump the ball. Luckily threw that forward.
Number 11, receiver, is in the area.
Well, there you go. Complimentary football by UConn. You drive down the field, you score a big touchdown on the ground, and then you get Boston College in 3rd and long and force them into a bad play. And Jim Mora's defense does a great job of responding.
Lauren DiLoretto, the punter for Boston College. Fair catch signal and made by Cameron Ross. 42 yards on the kick. UConn with the football down 7 when we come back.
Now what? You say it when it feels like you're starting too late. At Prudential, we think you should ask it when you realize it's not too late to start. Like when your new passion is now your life passion, ask now what? Here's what. You come to Prudential and help ensure your retirement has income that lasts a lifetime. Who's your rock? Talk to an advisor and build a more secure retirement today.
Once you pick up an Arby's cheesesteak, it's gonna be tough to set that thing back down. Hey, put it back. The commercial is not over. Arby's, we have the meat.
Lunch? Yes, please.
That'll be $23.
Your ad says it's free.
Yeah, it is for our Economy Ultimate passengers who paid extra.
I'll just have water.
Okay, sure. Cash or card?
For water?
Well, at AT&T, when we offer you our best iPhone deals, we guarantee it. Even on the new iPhone 15 Pro, made with titanium. Not that you don't keep your word, it's just that you haven't.
What?
Only AT&T gives everyone our best deals on any iPhone with any popular plan. Guaranteed. Get iPhone 15 Pro on us.
The trio is back.
Better than ever, with so much more fun.
More mischief.
More action.
Go Blue!
More ghosts.
More mystery.
Hulu, Disney Plus, and ESPN Plus. All of this and so much more with the Disney Bundle. Talk to me, I'll speak to you. Can you listen to the sound?
Call Jill.
It's your journey. Own every mile in the Hyundai Santa Fe with America's best warranty.
Right now, get 0% APR financing on the 2023 Hyundai Santa Fe. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today.
You've earned this, so hold it up high. You always show up, no matter how small the show is. Because anyone can have a dream, but you have what it takes to chase it. You are fighters, and this is your reward. Modelo, the mark of a fighter.
Kings and Leafs, Tuesday at 8 on ESPN.
Louis, happy Halloween! What's your favorite Halloween candy?
You don't got it.
Yeah, grab one. Oh my God!
That's great. Annabelle Hasselbeck. Yeah, she was the girl in that. She does such a great job on her Instagram feed interviewing the guys every week. A.B. Hasselbeck on Instagram.
Edwards. Man, Edwards is taking over in this fourth quarter. Had a long touchdown run on the last drive. Now this pitch and catch goes for 26.
Yeah, he's not scared. He's out there running the ball. There's Cam Arnold. I mean, he's, you know, like built like the who will protect your house Under Armour guy. He's just stepped out of there. And Cam Arnold, he's a really, really good linebacker. And even talking with Jim Moore, he was like, hey, number 5, like that guy is going to play in the next level. He's been phenomenal for BC.
Roberson again to throw. Wanted to get it to Edwards. That play was blown up by Cam Arnold, so he decides, I'm just going to throw this one away.
Yep, Cam Arnold, great job coming on the blitz and saw his running back flare out. Flare control, Chris. He took his back, flaring out.
Didn't have the minimum pieces of flare on that play.
Yeah.
There's Arnold.
Yeah, senior. 6'1", 230 pounds. He's actually probably a little heavier than that. He's put on some good muscle. Rangy linebacker.
Defense has got to make a play here. Edwards on the sweep. Flag down. Going to be run out of bounds, just shy of that first down marker. Like Batson gave him that little extra push out of bounds. But this one's coming back. Holding against UConn.
Holding, offense number 71. 10-yard penalty, still second down.
Valentin Sen on the hold. Transfer from Colorado.
Tough to see that one. Might have been on 51.
Kari Walker, good to see Walker back in there, the center, shaking up a couple of plays ago. But this is a big second down here. It's second down and long, and UConn's kind of want to get a chunk of this back to give them a third and manageable. Roberson to throw. Pressure up the middle. As a receiver, nice catch. Cameron Ross went up and got a foot in bounds, and that's exactly what UConn wanted right there. Now it'll be third down and 6.
Yeah, it's a really good job. Another good throw towards the sideline by Roberson. And let's see that foot.
I think he got the toe in first.
Rolling on the field was a catch in bounds. The previous play, it's under further review.
Yeah, and the clarification always when you're going backwards is the heel, right? If the toe touches down and the heel touches down out of bounds, that is going to be called an incomplete pass.
Even on the sideline it is.
Even on the sideline. So if the toe touches down inbounds and then the heel touches down out of bounds, it's going to be an incomplete pass. Now, if you're going the other way, where you're going forwards out of bounds and just your toe touches, that's going to be inbounds. Let's take a look closely. Man, it's just from that angle. It's so, and you see,
definitely touches.
Check out right there, right? That guy, that head linesman's got a perfect view of it, and I don't know. From this camera angle, it's hard to tell.
Can't tell one whether you. What if you're going forward and the heel touches first in bounds and the toe then goes out of bounds?
Then yeah, that is also going to be incomplete pass.
Confuse.
Correct.
Case in point here.
So we always talk about a toe tap, right? Your toe tap, you're going forwards out of bounds, you tap your toe in, but it's that continuation of the foot coming down. So if your heel touches first and then your toe touches out of bounds, that is your whole foot strike, and that's going to be incomplete.
From those two angles, there is not a definitive look. That looks like his heel is out of bounds. But we're not looking exactly straight down the sideline.
Yeah.
Which could be a different perspective because the official is looking straight down the sideline.
Straight down the sideline.
When he makes the call on the field. Our replay official, Tom Kostine, hasn't been very busy today.
No.
We haven't gone to him very often, but on this particular one, it's an important play. Jeff Flanagan's in conversation with him in the booth up here because it's either third down and 20 or it's third and 6. It's a much more manageable play at midfield in a situation for Jim Moore on the right. Not mad at Coach Moore for the swag he's got at UConn either.
Further review, the ruling on the field stands.
Yeah, it stands. I don't think in those two views that they had enough to overturn it.
Yep, and I would agree, and that's why I use the terminology stands rather than confirmed.
And a big opportunity here for UConn. Now they've got it in a much more manageable situation. You can see what they've done on third down today. It hasn't been very fruitful for them in the second half. Cam Edwards flanking Roberson. Now they look to the sideline, going to change the call. Edwards, can he get to the edge? He does. Keeps it in bounds inside the 30. Flag comes down.
Late flag, and I wonder if they got Justin Jolly, the tight end, on a hold. He was
coming back.
Working up to Cam Arnold.
Now it's going to be a spot foul.
Holding, offense number 17. 10-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Hey, Rev, I didn't call him. See where it is here. Yeah, it's right there on Cam Arnold.
Yeah, that's Joe Lee.
So they'll move it 10 yards from the spot. Let's see where they mark it, because it'll again be 3rd down, and instead of 3rd and 6, it's going to be closer to 3rd and 10.
Boston College brought edge pressure, and UConn ran away from them on that last play. On 3rd and 10, you got to imagine they have to go to the air. Could be 4-down territory as well.
Pressure from all over the place. Roberson flushed from the pocket, has to get rid of it, and throws it to nobody in particular. Got flags in the secondary, though. And this time, Joe Lee may have been held. That flag right in the middle of the field where 17 was.
Holding, defense number 3. It's a 10-yard penalty to the previous spot, and it carries an automatic 1st down.
Call's going to go against Khari Johnson.
See Jolie working down against Khari Johnson. Just got their feet tangled up, and you see Khari with the club on his right hand. It's a big penalty, giving life to UConn.
Absolutely right, Mark. A fresh set of downs for them. And new life at the 39. Roberson to throw. Has time over the middle, overshoots his man, trying to find Ross. Cole Batson in coverage.
Good job by Batson, playing that middle of the field safety. Over route, drove down on it. And he's been a guy who's been a nice surprise for Boston College as well. A kind of under-recruited guy out of California, but at 6'4", 210, he is rangy at that free safety spot and is able to play both strong and free safety. Versatile guy on that back end for BC.
Pressure coming off the edge. Edwards gets by it. Now flags again behind the play. Edwin Kalunge on the tackle. Edwards did a nice job of sidestepping the initial pressure off the edge, but this one's coming back again.
Holding, number 14, offense. It's a 10-yard penalty. 2nd down.
It's going to go against the tight end, Nick Harris.
Spot.
See Pupil coming on the edge here, Mark.
Yeah, you see Harris, number 14. Yeah, that's just, it's good timing by John Pupil. Pupil was on a safety pressure, run pressure, and just did a good job of mixing up the count, right? You get down to the line of scrimmage late, changes up the count for the blockers, and Nick Harris, the converted D lineman, just got an outstretched arm and got called for the hold.
See Boston, or UConn rather, not guilty of very many infractions on the day, but a couple on this drive have really hurt him. Now 2nd down and forever. Screen, overshoots his man. Porter's not that tall. Now UConn's got a problem. Mark, again, I got to think this is a situation where you want to get half of it back to where you feel okay going for it, even if it's 4th and 10. If you don't make it, still give Boston College almost a full field. They've got to go.
Yeah, you know, it's really hard to expect a conversion on 3rd play. There's no 20-yard plays. You just got to get a wide receiver to make someone miss.
Roberson to throw. Now he's flushed. He can get a lot of yards on his own, but he pitches it off. That's Buckman. And that's a great gain on 3rd down and 20 because just like we saw before, now it's 4th and 7, but 7 is manageable depending on what you want to do down 7.
Yeah, 7's manageable, but also now you're also in field goal range, right? If you were back there where they were at 3rd and 20, you're nowhere near field goal range. Now you have a long attempt possibility.
A really long attempt. This is going to be 54 yards. A little bit of confusion for Boston College as to who needs to be on the field at this point. No way Rulis on to try a 54-yard attempt. Snap and hold are good. Rulis puts a foot into it, but it's nowhere near enough. Short and wide right. BC defense holds. They're up 7 here in the 4th.
Now what? You say it when getting older starts getting old. At Prudential, we think you should ask it when your birthday opens up a new chapter. Like when you realize you've got the rest of your life to look forward to. Ask, now what? Here's what. You tap into the insurance, investment, and retirement expertise of Prudential and get everything you need to help ensure the best is yet to come. Who's your rock? Speak to an advisor or visit Prudential.com.
Are you ready for Papa John's new fan-inspired pizza? We started with our garlic epic stuffed crust with everyone's favorite garlic flavor.
In it, on it, with it, in it, on it.
But then you all asked for more heat. So we added red pepper flakes and our spicy garlic sauce for even more fire. Papa John's new garlic epic stuffed crust pizza, now available in spicy garlic. Get a one-topping pizza now for $13.99 at Papa John's.
When you buy 10 tickets on Vivid Seats, you get the 11th ticket free. I wonder what my 11th will be.
You're trash!
Living rent-free in a hockey player's head?
What's your 11th?
With Boost Infinite, get iPhone 15 Pro with titanium and save up to 40% on your monthly bill. Transcend to a wireless utopia and experience America's smart network. With unparalleled coverage from 3 of the nation's top wireless networks. No trade-in needed to get iPhone 15 Pro with titanium on us. Save up to 40% on your monthly bill and enjoy the latest iPhone every year with unlimited wireless.
If you thought Monday Night Ball was big, wait till you see what's in our game plan at Toyota of Rock Hill. We're putting our all-star lineup of new Toyotas in motion. With 0 down, 0 payments for 3 months, and 0 cost maintenance. Backed by our rock-solid guarantee. Plus, get top dollar when you trade or sell us your car. So experience football season in an MVP, a brand new Toyota. From Toyota of Rock Hill, located minutes from Uptown at exit 79.
You've earned this, so hold it up high. You always show up, no matter how small the show is. Because anyone can have a dream, but you have what it takes to chase it. You are fighters, and this is your reward. Modelo, the market.
Let's take a look at the Saturday MVP of the game, brought to you by Sports Clips. For the 2nd game in a row, Kai Robichaux has gone over 100. Give him a couple of other touchdowns today.
Yeah, he's done a good job. He's just running behind his pads and going north and south. And really with the question around Castellanos being able to run the football, it's been Robichaux. And just, been able to get behind these big offensive linemen and be really productive. And this is going to be a 4-minute type situation. Boston College wants to run as much clock as possible, so there's going to be a heavy dose of Broome and Robichaux.
Broome this time on 1st down gets 11 yards. Dixon Williams brings him down, but BC would love 11 yards a clip right now, and they're getting yards in big chunks from these running backs.
They're getting really, really good blocking up front from this offensive line and sticking on blocks. The wide receivers are getting blocks downfield. And when the passing game is not clicking, and it just has not been today, only 187 yards through the air, you can rely on the run game. That's how you win football games and consistently win football games.
Broome, another huge hole to run through. 9 yards.
It's a good job. Mahogany comes down on the nose guard, pushes him out of the way, and it's just a just a big, I mean, that's a massive hole to run through, and good job by Brooke. Got both these guys running low and running hard.
Well over 200 yards rushing on the day, and Castellanos hasn't been a big part of that. Broom jumps over a would-be defender, picks up the first down. Palmina Brown tackled him, but not before he got 6 or 7 yards. Moves the sticks.
Another one got the big boys in, extra offensive lineman and Jack Conley. Drew Kendall. Deep blocking. I mean, you got some legacy players too on this offensive line. Drew Kendall, Pete Kendall's son, Ozzie Trapillo.
And late Steve Trapillo's son. Robichaux. Brought down by Talman Gordine. UConn's going to make a stand. They've got to make it right here. Down a touchdown in their own territory. That clock is ticking.
Big boys back on the field. 44. Extra offensive lineman.
Broom reverses his field. Pick up what he could. About 3 yards before Eric Watts brought him down. Coming up next, Virginia and Miami. That's down in South Florida, 3:30. Nightcap on the ACC Network, North Carolina and Georgia Tech in Atlanta. That's where the Huddle crew is, presumably before 3:30. We'll get it to them for a recap.
Virginia shocked the world with a win over UNC last week.
Anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
Absolutely anything can happen. Castellanos keeps it this time. Bangs forward for about 2.
Timeout. Connecticut. First charge, timeout. Timeout will be 30 seconds.
UConn with their first timeout in this second half. Castellanos had to think he might bounce that outside if he's 100%. Instead, he decided to tuck it in and get what he could, which was a couple. Coach Moore barking some instructions to his team. It's a big day in the ACC. You know, when you look at the schedule coming forward for the ACC, well, these are the conference standings, but these teams in here that are 2-1, 2-2, 1-2 even, Mark. Yeah, all those teams are battling for bowl spots.
Yeah.
So to get bowl eligible and to get 6 overall wins, Boston College is one of them.
Yeah, you're also battling.
Clemson's one of them.
Yeah, and you're also battling right for a shot at the ACC championship game, right? You only got one team right now. That conference, has no losses. Everyone else has a loss. And
the fact that Virginia Tech is in that hunt, tip of the cap to Coach Pry and that team, because we mentioned it earlier, like BC, did not get off to a great start. They have really put things together and have kind of found their identity.
They have, and it's about getting to the passer. They have been phenomenal. I think they have something like 30 sacks, top 5 in the country in terms of getting to the play caller.
Now out of the BC tower, out of the UConn timeout, rather.
Boston College, first charge, timeout. Timeout will be up 30 seconds.
BC saw something they didn't like on 4th down. They want to talk things over. Let's look at what BC has coming up.
Home games they had, then some away ones hopped in there. Really not many away games at all this year. Five away games, and then they got to finish the season hot, and they got a shot at this ACC title as well, where there were times during this year you didn't think that was going to be the case, but that man right there, really their chance of doing something notable in the ACC is going to ride on the health of number 1. And Jeff Hafley mentioned coming out of half that, hey, he just wasn't feeling well. A lot to be looked into on that comment. Was it physically not feeling well? Was it emotionally not feeling well? You just don't know.
Here he's got to pick up the first down and does. Still on his feet. Gets it down to the 23, and that's going to do some damage to UConn's chances here, as with just 2 timeouts left, this clock winding inside of 3 minutes. Just following big Kyle Hergel into the hole. Hergel just swallow up the safety, Dixon Williams.
Yeah, he does. And a lot of times, when it's a minor injury, it doesn't always show up when you're in the adrenaline of the play. Or you can kind of a painkiller with that adrenaline. Well, then when you see him walk back to the huddle, there's a little bit of gimp coming from that left leg.
You can just hand it off to this guy, though. That seems to have worked pretty well here all game long and into the second half, and all season long for that matter.
Timeout, Connecticut. Second charge timeout. Timeout will be 30 seconds.
And you see him walking. It's a little bit more gingerly than you would used to seeing Castellanos, right? And emotionally, you see it too, where, at this point in the game, he's a talker. He's a guy who's, getting people pumped up. Hey, we're about to go in and score. And I think that even his energy is just a little bit different. And we'll have to keep an eye on that throughout the rest of this game, but also throughout the week, and see kind of where he stands going forward.
1 day less to recover after today, because they play Friday night.
Yep.
Up in Syracuse.
See, it's just, look at that. That's a gingerly jog. Kind of nursery rhyming that comment. Sorry about that, Chris.
I took it for what it was worth, and I understand it. And I also think it was an astute point you made about just the attitude that we've seen from one.
Yeah.
Normally it's the heart and soul of this offense, if you will. And I feel like here in this second half, he is gutting it out.
Yeah.
More so. Connecticut.
Play made a first down. Timeout. Connecticut. Third. Final charge timeout. Timeout will be 30 seconds.
Say no more. Jeff Flanagan lets us know that that's it for UConn in terms of timeouts, and a fresh set of downs for Boston College, and that should pretty much do it. Well, UConn came into this game 1-6, and they were a bowl team last year, and Coach Morris said, I think we're better this year than we were last year, even though the record certainly doesn't indicate as much. And when it all comes down to it, he knows this. You are what your record says you are, and barring a minor miracle here, they'll drop to 1-7, and look what comes up next. I mean, at Tennessee, at James Madison, it just doesn't get any easier for them, and they played a pretty tough schedule. Already NC State and Duke. Throw in Georgia State, that's a bowl team out of the Sun Belt.
Yeah. Remember, UConn's an independent team. You got to fill up these schedules, and it's hard to rebuild when you are an independent, because you have to have so many of those types of games. Now the opportunity comes, right? When you do rebuild, sky's the limit, right? You can build that schedule up as much as you want. And, Jim Moore understood, kind of what he was coming into. One of the, team programs that was just down, right? Down for a while. And, this is just, he loves football. I mean, I know from calling games with him over the past few years, like, he was itching to get back into coaching, wanted to find a place where not like to win, right? And yes, he wants to win, but to pour into these young players and these young coaches. And you see him doing that when you talk to offensive coordinator Nick Charlton. Really appreciative of Moore's wisdom and guidance.
Broome takes it down to the 4. It'll be 3rd down and short. And Moore even said he might be a little bit of a victim of his own success last year, that this was a long-term turnaround story at UConn. And to go to a bowl game in your first year, expectations might be falsely elevated.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you beat Boston College in the second game of the year, and you get some balls bounced your way, and you know, they've played some competitive games down the stretch, right? First few weeks, it looked like kind of blowout, and then Utah State, it's a 1-point game. At Rice, they get a win by 1 score, and then last week, just barely lose to South Florida by a field goal. And you know, today again, you know, so far it's a 1-score game, and so UConn not getting blown out the way that they had at the beginning of the year.
Broome picks up the first down. Now all that is left is for the final ticks to tick away on this clock. Keep a close eye on Castellanos all week long as Boston College prepares for Syracuse Friday night. 248 rushing yards for BC today.
Yeah, they came into the game averaging 210, which was first in the ACC. They're gonna hold that spot, I believe.
Handshake for the official from Castellanos. Pat on the